This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. Brandis Daniel is looking to boost diversity in the fashion world.
Department stores would carry hundreds of designers, but less than 1% of those designers were designers of color.
That's Daniel speaking to Bloomberg about a realization she had years ago about the lack of diverse talent in fashion that led her to creating Harlem's Fashion Row. It's an agency focused on building a bridge between big brands and designers of color.
We've donated over $1 million to HBCU fashion departments, thanks to companies like Gap. We've gotten incredible support from Nike and Nordstrom, and so many other companies have allowed us to be able to support these HBCU fashion departments as well as designers of color.
Through Harlem's Fashion Row, Daniel has forged relationships with popular brands and directly impacted young designers of color. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals. And it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the hosts and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
From Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. You know what? I like money. Money gets you better things. It gets you a better life, doesn't it? Money gets you better food at better restaurants. Money gets you better vacations. Money gets you more free time. You can literally buy time if you have money. There's less urgency to have to work. There's less stress. You don't have to do things that you don't want to do if you have money. Money gets you access. Doesn't it get you access into a club, into a special cohort, into a special group? Does it not? Money gets you better seats at concert events, sporting events, venues. Money can make you look better. Money can make you skinny if you're a fat person. Here's what's weird, though. If you're skinny, I guess money can make you fat. You can get implants. Money will get you a better education. It gets you better transportation. You have better options. You can get better looking people. You can be happier and much more content if you have money. Do you see where I'm going with this? A lot of the problems that we have, and I'm going to talk about money today. I'm going to talk about budgets today. I'm going to talk about the one big, beautiful bill, which is going to screw all of us over in ways that we are not going to understand. And what's going to happen is the public is going to be so discontent by losing so many safety nets and so many things that we didn't even know was funded by the federal government. There is no choice but for the public to turn on itself. And of course, it's about money. Money can get you another person to take care of your kids for you. If you have enough money, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to space. I don't have space money. The highest I can go is about 36,000 feet, and that's only until I get to the place, and then I got to come down again. Money gets you nicer clothes. It gets you incredible jewelry. Money gets you better health care. Money gets you health care, period. You'll live longer with it. You potentially can have a much better life. Now, you have to know what to do with your money. Money can impact generations. Money can buy an election. Successfully, it can buy an election. Unless you're Elon Musk and you don't really have a very high level of success, at least not in Wisconsin, but for the most part, if you have enough money, you can buy pretty much anything. You can buy people. Not directly, because we outlawed that. Kind of. We kind of outlawed. It was an executive order, so not really a bill or anything. If you have a business and you need workers, you need staff, you need sales associates, you need customer service reps, you need people to work in the shipping and the receiving, you can purchase a human being starting at $7.25 an hour. Do you know how long an hour is? Do you know how much work someone can actually do in an hour? And to only get $7.25, ladies and gentlemen, that is the starting rate to purchase somebody. Think about that for a second. In fact, the lower the pay is, the more that person will have to work. So the longer you have them essentially under your control. $7.25 is where the purchase of a human being begins. What else can you get with money? Access, experiences, a better outlook. Money can get you the best kind of therapy. I can go on and on and on and on, but more importantly, money will get you a nicer house in a better neighborhood where you don't have to deal with the trials and the tribulations and all of this horrible crime. If you have enough money, you'll have the nice house in the nicer neighborhood, and your children will potentially attend a better school that is better funded because you have this big, expensive house in which you pay an ungodly amount of property taxes. And we know that property taxes funds our schools. So a lot of people, especially if you have families, if you're looking at moving, you have to consider, well, what are the schools like if you have children or if you plan on having children? Money gets you access to that. There are places surrounding the city of Milwaukee where the money is much more obvious and it's much more prevalent. Now, I'm not saying there isn't poverty in the surrounding areas, but you can actually see where the money is just outside of certain city of Milwaukee neighborhoods. And people go to those areas because they have the money to afford it. They don't mind paying the property taxes, especially if they're going to send their children to one of those schools. In fact, there are some places outside of the city of Milwaukee proper where the public schools are so good, you don't even have to send your kid to a private school. While in the city of Milwaukee, if you want a particular kind of education for your children, well, you have to at least look at Pius or Dominican, or if you're really rich, the university school, because we don't have enough public schools that can provide the high quality education as some private schools or the public schools in areas where there is much more income and much more wealth. So people will move out of the city. I hear it every single day. Sherwin, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of Milwaukee. I can't be here anymore. It's too much crime. And I have the money, they may say. I'm leaving here. And they'll give you a whole list of places in which they believe is a much more favorable place to reside because, of course, they have the money. But I get it. And also the money's going to get you some safety. You move away from where all the crime is, because don't we hold this particular truth to be self-evident? If there is violence that takes place, I don't know, on 43rd and Capitol or 27th and Burleigh, or maybe on 10th and Locust, ooh, watch out for that 10th and Locust, then that means the entire neighborhood is bad. Do we agree on that? We agree. If there's a shooting on 19th and Keefe, then the area of 19th and Keefe is bad. You don't want to go there. You don't want to drive through there. You don't want to visit friends or relatives there because it's a bad neighborhood because there was a shooting there. What about, I don't know, 15th and the North Avenue? It's a bad neighborhood. Maybe somebody got hurt. Maybe somebody's car got stolen. Maybe there was some reckless driving. The entire neighborhood is bad. So whenever there is a crime, do we agree on this? We must agree on it. I've heard you say it. In fact, I got this information from you all. If a crime takes place of any kind of profile, high profile, low profile, that whole neighborhood is deemed bad. 1 week ago, tragedy happened in the city of Milwaukee. Officer Corder was shot and killed. Funeral arrangements have been made, and his partner, Christopher McCray, was injured. He has been released from the hospital. That was 1 week ago. And it was in the city of Milwaukee. It was in a north side neighborhood. I believe that the suspect was apprehended somewhere around 37th and Village. That is not where the crime took place. I think the crime may have taken place, I'm not sure, maybe somewhere off of Valete. Either way, it's a bad neighborhood because that's where a cop got shot. In fact, if a cop gets shot somewhere, that's the worst of the worst neighborhoods. You got to get the hell out of there. You know, if there's some street thugs shooting at each other on a particular city street on a block in Milwaukee, well, that's bad. But if a cop gets shot, you need to hightail it the hell out of there. And sometimes that's all it takes when somebody hears about a shooting, or if a cop gets shot, God forbid, they got to move out of that neighborhood because that neighborhood is unsafe. You might want to go to greener pastures. Speaking of greener pastures, we even have suburbs that are named after the word green. Green Dales and Green Field. I'm sure there's probably a Green Hills, Green Valley, Hidden Valley Ranch, wherever it is you want to move to, a very pleasant sounding place. But you got to get out of the city. You got to get out of the city of Milwaukee because there's all of this crime and these cops keep getting shot. Well, guess what, Shorewood? Your turn. I'll bet you there's a percentage of people that spent $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 on their house in Shorewood, so they could send their kids to the Atwater Elementary or the Shorewood High School, so they could have a view of Lake Michigan, so they could get away from the crime in the city. Early this morning, a police officer was shot in the very wealthy and well-to-do suburb of Shorewood, Wisconsin. Let me be abundantly clear. So a week ago, there was a shooting that killed a Milwaukee police officer. Now, the Shorewood police officer was not killed. Luckily, his vest did its job and it protected this officer from further injury. He went to the hospital. He was treated and released for very minor injuries because 2 bullets struck this Shorewood police officer squad. One of the bullets struck the vest that this officer was wearing, sparing his life. I need you to think about this. Now we're going to do a little math. I know it's a little early in the morning. We got to do a little math. Shorewood has 43 times less people. Now remember, if violence occurs, if there's a shooting, the whole neighborhood is bad, right? Because if that patina sticks to Milwaukee, it better stick to everywhere else, because I hear us left and right, up and down, 6 ways from Sunday, demonize a whole neighborhood. Everybody in the neighborhood is bad. The kids are bad. The adults are bad. The working families are bad. The single moms are bad. The single dads are bad. If there is a shooting or an act of violence in a neighborhood, we say the entire neighborhood is bad. Guess what, Shorewood? You're bad too. Here's the thing. The cost of entry to Shorewood is way, 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 way higher. Y'all had a cop shot in your neighborhood. How do you feel about that? I bet you want your money back for your house, don't you? Because that's the reason why some of y'all moved out there. Shorewood has 43 times less population than Milwaukee. Meaning, in the last week, police officers getting shot is 43 times higher in Shorewood than it is in Milwaukee. Don't get mad at me. That's just math. I'm going to take a break, come back, and give you some more details about yet another shooting in which a police officer on duty was shot. Suspect still at large. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do. But I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
A Shorewood police officer was shot while responding to a report of a shooting Thursday morning, according to Shorewood Police Chief Heather Worth. According to the chief, who held a news conference really about 2 hours ago, officers were dispatched to a report of a shooting before 3 a.m. Thursday, July 3rd, near Bartlett and Kenmore. I know where that is. Them houses is big and expensive over there. Worth said that the officers were responding to the scene. One of the squad cars took fire from an unknown assailant, with at least 2 rounds striking the windshield and another round hitting the passenger side of the vehicle. This is unfortunate. It is starting to happen too frequently. But this situation where a police officer was shot, not injured, but shot, their vest did their job in protecting them, is the second incident in a week's time in Milwaukee County. But the uniqueness about these situations is that in both encounters last week, in which Officer Corder lost his life, and this officer that got shot in Shorewood, I do not have his or her name yet. I'm sure they'll release it eventually. But they were not able to return fire. So I don't know if these are just weird, unusual, isolated incidents that are taking place 1 week apart from another. But what is happening in the world where officers are being fired upon and are not able to return fire to the person that is shooting at them? That is a particular danger to the community, because here's the thing. First of all, don't shoot anybody unless you really have to, and even then, it's kind of dicey, you know? Because even if it's self-defense, most situations, even if it's self-defense now, and you may ultimately be found innocent or no charges are filed at all, but you have to arrive at that point, right? The DA is still going to try and charge you with murder, even if it's self-defense, because when you shoot somebody, especially if you kill them, that's a homicide. And until further notice and until further investigation, and they do all the forensics and all of the things, and they get the statements and the witness testimony, and they're charging you with homicide. You're gonna get booked. They're gonna send you downtown. You're gonna spend a little time in jail with some very unsavory characters. Not to mention the food is probably terrible. So even if you are ultimately found innocent and the shooting was justified, it's still a hell of a lot of risk. But someone that is willing to shoot at a police officer is absolutely willing to shoot at any of us at any time. That's a particular kind of brazenness. And maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just old school with it. You know what? When I hear like the police are coming, especially if I happen to be involved in something that is, let's just say, extrajudicial. If somebody says, "Oh, snap," because that's always how that statement starts. "Oh, snap, Sherwin, the police are coming." My thought is to run. Like, uh-oh. Even if I didn't do anything wrong and somebody says, "Oh, snap," I'm looking around. Somebody says, "Oh, snap," I'm on high alert. Those are my high alert words. "Oh, snap. Oh, what's happening? Sherwin, the police are coming." Even though I didn't do anything, I think I still need to leave the scene anyway. You know what I mean? But for people to shoot at the police in two incidents 1 week apart from each other, I think we might be dealing with a particular type of I don't give an F depravity that is out here roaming around. And here's the thing, Shorewood, you can get it too. You're a bad neighborhood too. City of Milwaukee is bigger than Shorewood is. Shorewood ain't but a little thumbprint. Shorewood ain't even big. Shorewood probably smaller than Brown Deer. And Shorewood is way more expensive. The property taxes are way higher. The houses are way more expensive. The apartments are more expensive. Even the things that you may do in Shorewood are more expensive. The coffee is more expensive. You've been to Benji's Deli? It's very expensive, but it's also delicious. And if you have money, and if your primary obligation is safety for yourself and your family, and you move to an expensive suburb, you shouldn't have cops getting shot in your neighborhood, because now you might as well come on back to 27th and North Avenue now. I shouldn't even say 27th and North Avenue, because 27th and North Avenue is now much more industrial. Did they close that Walgreens? I haven't been over that way in some time. 27th and North Avenue. Why waste all that money living in a $400,000, a $500,000 house where you're paying, I don't know, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a year in property taxes? That property taxes suck. I don't know if y'all know that. It's just once a year your city is like, "Hey, give us money because you have a house." And then you're probably thinking to yourself, "Yeah, but I pay my mortgage." And the city's like, "Nah, so we want a piece too." And then you may inquire why. You're paying your mortgage, you're paying your principal, you're paying your interest, you're paying the insurance on your home. And then the city is just like, "Give me some too." And you'll ask why. And the city's like, "'Cause libraries." "Yeah, but I don't go to the library. I have a computer and I have Google." Shut up. Give me money, the city will say to you. And then you might say, "No, I pay enough taxes. I pay income taxes. I pay federal taxes. I pay sales taxes. I get taxed when I buy gasoline from a vehicle. I got taxed on the vehicle itself. And if you have a lease, you pay state sales tax on your monthly lease payment every month. Ain't that wild? You know what else I found out we pay taxes on? Our We Energies bill. Did you know that? Maybe I didn't look at my We Energies bill close enough. I just see the number and start swearing whenever I get my We Energies bill because it's always too high. It doesn't matter. Even if I try to be efficient with my heat usage in the wintertime or my AC usage in the summertime, my We Energies bill always makes me use profanity. It's like no matter what my We Energies bill is, it's too high. Like if you ask a woman how many partners she's had, it doesn't matter what number she says. It's too high. A woman could say 3, and my reaction would be, 3? Oh my God, so you make porn, basically. You know what I mean? It's always too high of a number, but we pay sales taxes on our utility bills, on our We Energies bill. Good news is, in this very recently passed state of Wisconsin budget signed by Tony Evers, I think at 1 a.m., because we wanted to sign our Wisconsin state budget ahead of Trump's big, beautiful bill, which it is headed for passage. We're going to talk about that in a little while. And also, we're going to be joined by State Senator Dora Drake. She represents the good people of the 4th Senate District. She's going to be here talking about the Wisconsin state budget that was passed in the early morning hours, signed into law by Governor Tony Evers. She's going to give us some details of what is good, what is bad. And it passed mostly on party lines in both the Assembly and the Senate. So we're going to talk about that. But one of the things they did in this state budget is they removed the state sales tax on our We Energies bills, and that's going to save the state of Wisconsin $180 million over the next 2 years. That's insane to me that they were charging us sales taxes on our damn energy. So that's something that has been removed, so that's going to save people some money. And maybe I should start looking at my We Energies bills closer. Nah, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to think it's too high no matter what. If you paid all that money for your house in Shorewood, because it's a quiet suburb, it's away from the city. Shorewood has a shoreline. They're right on the Lake Michigan. In fact, if you take Capitol Drive east until you can't take Capitol Drive anymore, Capitol Drive just stops. It quits at Lake Drive. The Lake Michigan is right there. You're on top of a bluff right there. It's very beautiful, actually. But Shorewood is one of the finer suburbs in Milwaukee County, and a police officer got shot there. So are we going to demonize Shorewood and the neighborhood or the street, the block that shooting took place on? I think that we should. And those people are suckers because they probably paid a lot of money to live in a place, to live in a neighborhood, to live on a block where they wouldn't ever have to deal with such things. I saw this interview with a resident that was a witness, not a witness, but she heard the gunshots. I love hearing suburban white people describe crimes in their neighborhood because they just feel defeated. You can just tell. The lady is like, oh, I was watching my television set at 2:51 a.m. First of all, woman, you're 80 years old. Why are you watching your television set at 2:51 a.m.? However, I digress. And I heard a sound. I was like, oh, could that be a gunshot? I don't even think that she would have assumed it was a gunshot because usually people say, oh, it sounds like fireworks. But this old white lady knew. And then she was like, shortly after that, I heard pat, 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 rat-a-tat-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat-tat. She was shook up, and I feel bad for her because she's probably lived in Shorewood for 80 years. But if we're going to talk about how bad neighborhoods in Milwaukee are because of crime that takes place, a lot of times it has nothing to do with the residents that live in an area. And this is why I push back on people in the suburbs. It's like, what are you running from? It's coming to you too. In the world that we live in, anybody can get it anywhere. They tried to shoot the president in Butler, Pennsylvania. It don't matter where you go. But what I think people do when they run to suburban enclaves and they run to places that are safe, let's just call it what it is. And you know what? I'm not even going to fault people for that. They're running away from black people. And here's what I say. If you want to run away from me, then I should be running away from you too. If you think that your life is going to be better, if you think that you are going to be safer because you're around a bunch of white people created the institutions of violence that we have right now. But if you want to go live next to them to feel safe, by all means. I don't want to live out by the master. Keep me with the slaves. I'd have been a horrible slave. I realize this because I don't like hot weather at all. People that like hot weather are weird. I don't like temperature extremes. Give me 78 degrees, sunny skies, no clouds, low humidity, and a light breeze. You know, one of them breezes that just tickles you in all of your funny places? Just a wispy breeze and sunny. I don't even need 80. 80, you're starting to push it. Because I wouldn't want to work in the field. I'd be like, Massa, they tell me it's going to be 94 today, Massa. Boy, get your black ass out there and pick that cotton. Massa, do I have any floating holidays left? If so, I would like to take one. Well, let me check the skip. Yeah, you know what you do? And my slave name probably wouldn't be Sherwin. It'd probably be something like Big Jethro. Yeah, Big Jethro, you do have you got a couple floating holidays, so going on. I know it's going to be hot out.
Mine's probably would have been Bartholomew.
You do look like a big-ass Bartholomew. Or like a big black Joshua.
Joshua is crazy.
Always sweating, too. Just a big... Well, since you going to take the day off, Jethro, where's sweaty Joshua? And here come Rick, with the only slave with gold teeth. I got to take a break now. I got to take a commercial break. 10 a.m., State Senator Dora Drake is going to be here and give us some highlights and I guess some lowlights of the biennial budget. $111 billion the state of Wisconsin is going to spend over the next 2 years. That's a lot of money. I do believe that includes some tax relief for working families and middle-class folks, so maybe that's good. But we'll get a few more details from Senator Dora Drake. She'll be joining us about 10 o'clock. Senator, if you're listening, try to get here and be in the studio by 10, because if you're here at like 10:02 or 10:03, then you got to wait till 10:15, and nobody likes to wait. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
After an accident, don't wait to get the help you need. Call Gruber Law Offices first. There is no fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
As I reflect on my journey, I'm reminded of God's blessings and guidance. I've been fortunate enough to accomplish some remarkable feats, including walking 750 miles from Milwaukee to Washington, D.C. in honor of the Civil Rights Movement. I also walked against violence from Milwaukee to Chicago and back for 7 consecutive years. My feet are still recovering, but my spirit remains strong. I've been privileged to advocate for victims of police brutality, search for missing persons, and participate in numerous protests. Last year, I was honored to visit the White House with my colleagues from 1017 The Truth to discuss pressing issues in the black community with the Biden administration. Throughout my broadcasting career, I've received several First Place Wisconsin Broadcast Association awards for the Tory Lowe Show. I've also had the opportunity to be part of ESPN 94.5's Packer pregame show at Lambeau Field. As I look back, I am grateful for the incredible journey. Salute to my brothers and sisters on the front lines. And thank you for your tireless efforts and dedication. We're in this together, and I could not have done anything without the love and support of my community. I want to remind you to keep pushing forward, stay vigilant, keep your head on a swivel, green don't always mean go, and look both ways before you cross the street. And always look out for one another. In 2025, we still got a lot of work to do. God bless you, and I love you.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Police Chief Heather Worth of Shorehood, Wisconsin. I'm gonna tell you what, next time I gotta drive through Shorehood, I'm rolling my windows up. In fact, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna go to Shorehood at all anymore, because they've got police getting shot at a rate, in the last week at least, which is 43 times higher per their population than the city of Milwaukee. That's crime ridden for me, because here's the thing. If somebody's going to shoot a cop, you would definitely shoot me. I really don't want to get carjacked for my Chevy Volt, because I wouldn't want to get out of it. You know, I would be very angry if they pull up on you at a red light. I'm serious. It's not very funny. And they get out the Volt. And I'd be like, oh, man, because I would try to negotiate with them. I'm like, how about I give you some money instead? No, get out the Volt. And then I'd have to get out of my vehicle because I don't want to lose my life. And then they would pull away silently because it runs on batteries for 40 miles. I got 40 miles of battery range. So they get in my vehicle and they would just, they would wisp away quietly. And I would just watch my vehicle drive away. The chief said that an officer took a round to the vest and was taken to the hospital as a precautionary measure. He has since been released and is in good spirits. The condition of the two other victims, who were also injured in the shooting in Shorehood, is not being released due to the active nature of the investigation, but Worth said it did not happen to be a random act of violence. You know what I would suspect? It's probably a domestic violence situation. I saw a little bit of the press conference that the Shorehood police officer gave this morning, and they did not directly comment on whether it was a domestic violence situation or not, but it sounds like it probably was, like some love triangle type stuff. Police officers will tell you. For those of you that used to listen to me long time ago on WNOV, do you remember Officer Jack? Whatever happened to Officer Jack? He used to call all the time, Officer Jack did. And he was a former Milwaukee police officer. He retired, and then he moved down somewhere in Texas and was doing security work as a retired cop somewhere down in Texas. But he stayed connected to Milwaukee. He would come back to Milwaukee fairly often. But he used to call all the time and give us all the inside dirt on policing, right? And he said over his career as a Milwaukee police officer, and he retired, so his end of watch came with his retirement. It did not come early, thank goodness. But he said domestic violence calls are the most dangerous for everybody involved. Isn't that wild? That is where officers are in the most danger. And he said something like, this was years ago, like 60% of the calls that either he would receive or over the course of a police officer's law enforcement career, 60% of the calls are domestic violence. That's crazy. I sometimes think about what it would be like to be in a relationship with a Denise Thomas. I mean, I think about it because she'd be on me, Rick. You seen her yesterday. Should be throwing that little thing at your boy. On air, off air, on the phone, text message, be throwing it.
Oh.
But that's not news to nobody. But I'm thinking, like, could I ever get that mad at Denise? No, because I wouldn't even care what she does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't, if I saw her once a week, I'd be like, oh, hello. And she'd come home and pack a bag, leave again, see ya. And that would pretty much be the extent of it. She'd come home smelling like another man's cologne. I'd be like, hey, maybe you should shower. Or not. That's fine. I wouldn't even get. Now, I know I'm oversimplifying the situation, but if domestic violence calls for service are frequent and they are the most dangerous for everybody involved, maybe we should take a much more critical look at these situations, and hopefully we can find some kind of mediation or compromise or something. Quote, our officers are doing an incredibly difficult job under difficult circumstances and facing inherent risks and the support of the public given the circumstances in Milwaukee. Why you got to name Milwaukee? This is the Shorewood problem now. Look at Shorewood. Next thing you know, it's going to be crackheads roaming around Shorewood. So many crack smokers. Houses are going to start getting boarded up. And the support of the public given the circumstances in Milwaukee and certainly now here in Shorewood. We need the community support more than ever, Worth said. Here's what I think the community should do. If you live in Shorewood, Wisconsin, get out. Why are you still there? Cops are getting shot there. Now, Milwaukee had a police officer that was killed too, but Milwaukee is big. I was just sharing like different locations, like different restaurants and like different bars and lounges in the city of Milwaukee. There's so many places you can go and people don't even know about. Seriously, there's probably like 30 or 40% of the establishments in Milwaukee most people don't even know about. You can hide real good in Milwaukee. And I think that's an outgrowth of this being a segregated city. Like each neighborhood has its own personality. Like River West is weird. Brady Street is gross. What else? Inderis Park is lovely. Story Hill is beautiful. Right? Each personality, the neighborhoods have their own little personality. Water Street is no way, Jose. You know what Water Street is turning into? Every time I scroll on my damn timeline, I see just a bunch of wildebeests. Because that's what they act like. And that's not a racial thing, but they're just a bunch of wildebeests on Water Street. It did not used to be like that. That's me sounding old. Like, I remember back in my day. No, but seriously, we weren't wildebeests. We were like, I don't know, like deer, gazelles, just peaceful animals grazing on apple martinis or whatever it was we were drinking back in the day. I don't know what it was. But now Water Street is turning into, and I hate to admit this is not fair. This is a really horrible thing for me to say because I remember Water Street. I remember the heyday of Water Street in the 1990s when you just went and it was fun. There was bars there and you went to one bar, you didn't like it, you went to another one, and then you went to another one after that. But Water Street is turning into Shorewood. And I hate to admit that. That is a horrible thing to say. And if you live in an apartment or a condo on Water Street, or if you are a business owner on Water Street, I am sorry to have to say that Water Street is turning into Shorewood, Wisconsin. They're opening, so where the BW3 was, they're opening up a Jamaican place.
Upper Yard.
The
second location.
Yeah, man. So congratulations to them. I thought that BW3 would be there forever, but I guess not. So yeah, different city of Milwaukee neighborhoods have different personalities. Water Street is just, and the soundtrack of Water Street is, what's the name of the genre of Milwaukee music? Low end music, is that what they call it, Rick? Low end. So just whenever you happen to be on Water Street, it's just like low end music is playing in the background. It's kind of like the soundtrack for violence. Is that a not nice thing to say?
They're starting to call Wall Street the Black Water Street because more black businesses are coming down to Water Street.
Yeah, because the white people don't want to serve us. That's just, it's so disappointing, but it's also a fact that we need to be able to talk about openly. Even though I got to talk about this, why don't we do this? I'm going to do a fresh segment and talk about how white businesses could double and triple their profit margins by serving black customers, but they'd rather not. They'd rather not serve us than get rich. We'll talk about that briefly on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This may be another Elon Musk bureaucratic shuffle, or this may be whatever it is. These, Dr. Ken, are real consequences.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
I believe that there's going to be a step back and a rollback to some of those places that we're talking about making cuts because of the drastic outcome that can occur.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
Strong moms build strong families. Outreach is Healthy Starts, Healthy Hearts empowers parents with tools for healthy pregnancies, heart smart habits, and thriving kids. Join us on Thursday, July 31st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to learn about prenatal care, well child visits, and more. The event is free at our Capitol Drive location and open to all families. Call 414-727-6320 to register today. That's 414-727-6320. Outreach. Healthcare with Heart.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, July 10th from noon to 3 p.m. at 2 locations. Visit us at Northcott Neighborhood House, located at 2460 North 6th Street, and at Garden Homes Park, located at 2600 West Atkinson Avenue. Vendors from multiple employment sectors will be present to meet with you and share opportunities for hiring, training, upskilling, and more. We will also feature a live DJ, food and refreshments while supplies last, and the chance to make your next career move. Your success matters, and we are here for it. Brought to you by Council members Andrea Pratt and Malele A. Coggs. Sponsored by City of Milwaukee, Milwaukee Common Council, City of Milwaukee Department of Administration, Office of Community Wellness and Safety, Northcott Neighborhood House, Fathers Making Progress, Northwest Side Community Development Corporation, State of Wisconsin DWD, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, UMOS, DCMKE, 30th Street Corridor, Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee, Milwaukee County Parks, Maximus, and Amplifier.
Ever had a question about local services, neighborhood events, civic engagement, or ways to get more involved in the community and just didn't know who to ask? That is where 1MKE comes in. 1MKE is a nonpartisan coalition helping Milwaukee residents to find trusted information and easy opportunities to get civically engaged. Want to plug into a neighborhood event, find community services, give back through volunteering? 1MKE is here to help. Learn more and get involved and fill out their community feedback survey at 1mke.org. That is 1mke.org. We are 1MKE.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Rick brings up an interesting fact. You have bars and restaurants around the city that don't serve cognac because there's a stereotype that it's the preferred drink of African Americans or of a certain subset of African Americans. They drink the Remy and the Hennessy, and I think cognac is disgusting. It tastes like bad decisions, nightmares, and melted pennies. It's so disgusting. But yeah, there's a lot of places that don't serve it. There's strip clubs that don't serve it too, which, I mean, it is what it is. But do you know how much money you can charge a black person for a snifter of whatever that crappy cognac is, the Remy? A lot of money. Your profit margin can be insane. But there are businesses that, and we have to understand this, and we got to appreciate this, especially being in a business whose lifeblood is advertising. And so it's kind of like it's irony. It's very ironic because African Americans are spenders. We are consumers. We buy. Just our community alone, has the spending power of like most of European countries, right? Just black people in America. We spend. But with what we spend might come some cultural situations that other businesses don't want to have to deal with. And here's the other thing. We scare white people. Even if we're not doing anything. And here's the thing. That's not our fault. So when we approach white businesses and we give them all of this data, all this consumer data, like, hey, 1017 The Truth has got a large African-American audience. In fact, I don't even know how big our black audience is because there's a lot of white people that listen. In fact, most days, if I'm just out and about and somebody comes up to me, I mean, a lot of black people do, but it's a lot of white folks. Sherwin, hey, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I heard your show. I like it, kind of. I sometimes I listen when I'm in the car or whatever. I put in my earbuds, so a lot of white people listen too. But we have to have a different understanding and appreciation for how racism actually works. I could tell a business like, hey, if you advertise on my show, a lot of people are going to hear about your products and your services. A lot of people, big audience. They might respectfully decline. And they know that they'll have more exposure for their products and their services. They know they're going to make more money. In fact, you know what, Mom? I don't know what you call this rate, but it's like 5X, right? And so I remember getting these testimonials years and years ago. You spend $1,000 advertising on my show. I can't speak for other radio shows, but you spend $1,000 advertising on my show, you're going to make $5,000 in additional revenue that you would not have made before. That's fantastic. But some of those people are going to be black. And so you may lose $10,000 worth of white customers. That is the math that a lot of them take into account, because you got white customers they've been going to certain places, certain restaurants, certain bars, certain lounges for 30 years. Once we start showing up, they all leave. And then what happens is the entire location becomes an African-American establishment. And I'm not going to say this about all black people because it certainly is not true, but there's too many fight videos. And what do people even fighting over? What are they fighting over? What are you so mad at? At Denny's. Why are you angry at Denny's? Denny's makes a nice pancake. They have, as far back as I can remember, a Denny's pancake. It must be the buttermilk. It must, because it's fluffy. Bob, where are your favorite pancakes made? Maybe George Webb? I can see you going to George Webb by yourself, sitting in the corner.
Trying to make it now. I got an answer for DT or the policeman, because you move fast and you think fast. No, you just move slow.
You're a slow mover. You don't move fast.
No. DT. DT is real quick. So in case you want to ask me about the policeman, and I'll give you the answer. DT is a tough lady, but how you think of it is this. DT, how you think of it is this. If you want a man to treat your daughter like you would treat another woman, and then you got your answer. See, I actually had to explain one to my daughter, why I wasn't with this woman, and why I left this woman, and why I wasn't with this woman. But the other one I didn't have to. But one I did, and I better had a good answer, because she'd get on my case. Policemen, if you allow, it don't make any difference if them schools are going to still be exclusive. Those houses are still going to be worth 100, 200. They're going to get more policemen to find that guy. But unless you shoot a policeman or a white guy in the Milwaukee area, okay. It's just so okay. So that's your answer to the policeman, sir. See, I move kind of fast today.
No, you don't.
And yes, I did. You want to move fast. And so think about what I said. You're not quite there yet. DT, she's very deep in a way that, hey, I touch a man's face and be nice, not be intimate with her, but, you know, with a guy, another guy she likes and maybe want to be with. Now, he got to handle that. Denise can handle, oh, you ain't made me exclusive yet. See, that's most women will try to be nice, try to change them, not Denise. Denise go on a date.
Why are you making yourself laugh?
Because the answer is, you got to treat a woman like you would want a man to treat your daughter. I know, because I raised two of them, and I had to have a good excuse why I wasn't with that one. Because the women want to get married for some reason. They're different.
Bob, do you think they belong in the kitchen?
Oh, Sherwin.
Oh, hey, Bob, you know what you want to say.
Sherwin.
Answer the question, and I got to take a break. Answer the question. Yes or no? Should they be in the kitchen?
Sherwin, I got to say.
Yes or no?
Women do what they want to do. They can be in the kitchen.
There it is. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our 3rd annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today. Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth has you covered with front-row access passes to the best concerts at Summerfest this year.
Tune in to all your favorite Truth shows every day so you do not miss your chance to win tickets and wristbands to see artists like Offset, Bossman D-Lo, Ira Star, T Grizzly, and so many more.
Do not miss your chance to see these artists up close and personal during Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Dear employer, my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser.
I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum,
I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates. My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't. It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork. My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2, The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Y'all are not going to believe this. The woman that showed up at my house is in the YouTube chat. Like, yo! She's blocked now, though. Like, the boldness. I must not have made myself clear. Like, had somebody... Some people don't get it. And I'm not going to be one of these people like, no, she needs help. She going to get the help she need, all right? I hope that I'm not the one that has to administer the help, because my help, you don't like my help. My help ain't nice. I give tough love, real tough. Emphasis on the tough. Over here commenting in the YouTube chat talking about, oh, there's a restaurant on 91st and Capitol that I like. Then go there. Show up there when it's not open. And try to go give them some Summerfest tickets. And this woman works for MPS. This is why the damn kids can't read. She over here showing up at people's houses. Showing up. Oh, her name is Karen. Like, oh, Karen, you didn't show up for work. Your classroom. You didn't go to your classroom. Oh, I was running errands. Unbelievable. Like, what is happening in the world, y'all? All right, I got some information here. Somebody said Hakeem Jeffries is still, he's delaying. Democratic leader uses magic minute delaying Trump bill vote. So they have the votes for the big, beautiful bill. And I want to give you, here's the thing. It's a bunch of things with this bill. They say that Trump doesn't even know what's in it. Trump just wanted a piece of legislation that was two things, big and with his name on it. He didn't get involved in policy proposals. It's, I think this is a reconciliation bill, so it's not a budget bill per se, but it instructs the federal government how it should spend its money. And a lot of this money, if there's a theme to this bill, it's hurting poor people. If you are poor in this country, life is going to get demonstrably worse for you almost immediately. This is an immoral piece of legislation, but here's the thing. I can't talk about the morality of this legislation because voting for Donald Trump in and of itself, just based on his behavior and what we learned about him, not just through the course of his life in the public, but his first term as president, he is an immoral person. And he got back to the White House and he has extraordinary power because the Supreme Court has granted our presidents an extraordinary amount of power. Here's the most frightening thing about how this country is being led. When Congress passes a bill or passes a budget, those aren't suggestions. Those aren't just a handful of ideas that are optional. It becomes the law. But because the Republicans, who have control of both the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate, have given away all of their power, all of their power, all of their constitutional responsibilities and obligations to Trump, what Congress passes is just a bunch of suggestions. It doesn't even matter that it's the law because Donald Trump doesn't have to follow it, and the very people that can hold him accountable simply won't do it. The bill is immoral in ways that even people that support Donald Trump have to admit. It is going to hurt people. Now, here's why I'm nervous, because I always look past what is right in front of us, like what are the repercussions going to be. Typically, the party that is in power in the White House, so the Republicans, because Donald Trump is a Republican, they lose in the midterm elections because Americans just get sick of whoever the party is that's in the White House. So come the midterm elections, we oftentimes go in a different direction. And that's even if the president does a good job. This bill is going to hurt so many people. By 2026, America is going to look and feel different. It already is starting to feel different. It's going to feel tangibly different money for people to be able to eat and feed their kids, money for people to be able to get housing. Medicaid is going to be turned upside down. Hospitals are going to close. Rural hospitals. If you have a heart attack in rural Wisconsin, you're dead. You're dead. Whatever rural hospital is serving your area probably going to close because their Medicaid reimbursements are going to go down to damn near zero. So, if you have a stroke, they say if you have a stroke, you got to get to the hospital real fast, you see. You got to go very fast. Otherwise, you lose more functionality. Oh, if you're in a rural area, and here's the thing, a lot of those rural areas, they voted for Donald Trump. They voted for him. And they're going to be hurt the most. So you would think with a really bad, immoral document that's going to hurt, if you make less than like $100,000 a year, good luck. Now, we do have a reasonable state budget that tries to, and they passed our state budget last night ahead of what we know is going to be some of the most detrimental cuts. I'm going to go over some of the stuff in a second with you. Some of the more detrimental cuts in the big, beautiful bill. So they passed our state budget. There's a little bit of a stopgap, not much. But the Republicans are going to lose everything. They're going to, once people start to see and feel, and their hospital is going to be closing, and their Medicare is gone, and they have to reapply for the Obamacare all over again. The Affordable Care Act is going to be essentially gutted. People are going to say, oh, this is horrible. Let's go and vote for the Democrats. I know the Republicans have to be predicting a landslide for the Democrats. And you would think, because even if the Republicans were doing a good job, even if Trump was doing a good job, they still would lose seats. And they only have like a 4 or 5 seat majority in the House of Representatives. I think they have something else planned where they can pass this immoral reconciliation bill, the big, beautiful bill, which Donald Trump doesn't even know what's in it. All he wanted was the bill to be big and have his name on it. And it's going to hurt tens of millions of people. I mean, really, really hurt them. And we may not know here in the city of Milwaukee until we see next summer where violence is going to be even higher, because it's high now. But it's at the level that it's at because we do have violence prevention agencies, organizations, and grants, and all these different people working in concert to make sure it's not 10 homicides a day, which Milwaukee very easily could have. And so we're going to start to see the effects probably next summer, if not sooner. So when people go and vote in the fall of next year, they're going to be like, oh, let's go vote for the Democrats. The Republicans have got to be predicting this, but they're still putting this budget reconciliation bill together anyway. You would think they'd be worried about losses in the midterm. This is why I think they got another trick up their sleeve. Because who's to say they won't cheat? Because now, if Donald Trump has the ultimate amount of power, he might say, oh, well, as president, I think that I need to continue to be president and still have a Republican majority in the House and Senate. If the Democrats win, let's change all the votes. Who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him? If Donald Trump hires some Pentagon-level hackers to start changing votes. And here's the thing, Trump might even tell us, the Democrats are no good. They can't run the country. They're going to turn our country into a sanctuary for the illegals. Very bad. I changed the votes to make sure we have the power in the House and the Senate. And if he did that, what would you actually do? Go protest? What are you going to do? Go walk around in the street? What are you going to do? Make a picket sign? What would you do? There's nothing we can do. All right, let's see what we got here. The bill reduces federal Medicaid funding by $1 trillion, the largest cut in Medicaid's history. States will have to absorb much of the cost or reduce coverage and services. Estimates suggest up to 12 million people could lose Medicaid. I didn't even know it was 12 million people on Medicaid. States like New York are 1.5 million people are going to lose their Medicaid coverage. Able-bodied adults will be required to work or participate in job training to maintain Medicaid eligibility. Research shows that such requirements often lead to coverage loss without increasing employment. More frequent eligibility checks. States must re-verify eligibility for Medicaid expansion every 6 months instead of once a year, increasing the risk of people losing coverage due to paperwork or administrative errors, etc. Centralized federal oversight. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, the CMS, will create a national database to prevent duplicate enrollment and require states to check Social Security death master files every 3 months to remove deceased enrollees. Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The bill cuts SNAP by $295 billion. 3,200,000 people will lose food assistance, and many more will have reduced benefits. Recipients will have to recertify their eligibility more frequently, increasing the risk of losing benefits due to missed paperwork or administrative hurdles. That's where they're going to get people. So if you are one of the lucky ones that is still able to receive your SNAP benefits, and if you don't reapply, if you don't go online and fill out the paperwork, and they're going to send you something in the mail, and if you don't check your mail, you know what I come to find out? A lot of you don't check your mail. Is that a thing now? I check my mail diligently. Do you not check the mail? Y'all gonna have to start checking the mail, because I think if they know that people don't check their mail, they're gonna send you your SNAP paperwork in the mail. You're gonna have to fill it out, probably get it signed, probably get it notarized. 75% of the people will either not check their mail, will not fill out the documents at all, won't fill them out properly, and won't send them back by the deadlines, and they're gonna lose their benefits too. And I'm just getting started with some of the more evil proposals in the bill. I'm gonna take a break. When I come back, I think Senator Dora Drake is just somewhere here roaming around the building. So it's like Katie can get in. I'm sorry, her name is Karen. I'm going to stop using her little nickname. So she can get in wearing an Elvira rig, but a state senator can't. Our priorities here are just messed up. All right, let's take a break. Rick, is she here? Has she made her way to? Okay. I'm going to talk to Senator Drake in a couple minutes. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
People need people, whether in Junior Achievements BizTown, where students work together to run a city, or in the real world, where blood donors can help save lives. Join Junior Achievement of Wisconsin Anniversary for a mobile blood drive on Tuesday, July 15th from 2 to 6:30 p.m. at JA's headquarters near Highway 100 and Good Hope Road. While you're there, tour Jim's JA BizTown, where students take on real-world roles like CEO, banker, and mayor, learning how communities thrive through teamwork and leadership. Sign up today at wisconsin.ja.org.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, July 10th from noon to 3 p.m. at 2 locations. Visit us at Northcott Neighborhood House, located at 2460 North 6th Street, and at Garden Homes Park, located at 2600 West Atkinson Avenue. Vendors from multiple employment sectors will be present to meet with you and share opportunities for hiring, training, upskilling, and more. We will also feature a live DJ, food and refreshments while supplies last, and the chance to make your next career move. Your success matters, and we are here for it. Brought to you by council members Andrea Pratt and Malele A. Coggs. Sponsored by City of Milwaukee, Milwaukee Common Council, City of Milwaukee Department of Administration, Office of Community Wellness and Safety, Northcott Neighborhood House, Fathers Making Progress, Northwest Side Community Development Corporation, State of Wisconsin DWD, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, UMOS, DCMKE, 30th Street Corridor, Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee, Milwaukee County Parks, Maximus, and Amplifier.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In studio, State Senator Dora Drake is here. Senator Drake, how are you?
You know, I'm tired, but I'm good. It's another day to be alive. How about you?
Hey, I'm probably doing better than you are. You had a very late night. The session went long as you guys had to be at a very dubious kind of deadline. You guys wanted to get our state of Wisconsin biennial budget passed into the governor ahead of Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill, because there are some things in the Trump bill that would have put Wisconsin in even a more precarious financial situation. Let's talk about some of the provisions in the budget. I know it's not a good one. It seems to be more of a compromise document than anything else.
Yeah.
But in the intense negotiations in which 5 of your colleagues voted for this budget, you did not vote for it. What were some of the things that I guess are helpful to Wisconsinites or worthy of the Democratic compromise?
Yeah, so as you said, you know, we just passed our state budget. I think this is the first time in history we've done it in both houses, and it was signed overnight, with our governor signing it at 1:30 in the morning. And part of the reason, some of the things that are good, as you know, one of the things that Governor Evers was pushing for was the Year of the Kid. So it was investments in our UW systems, whether that was funding for our mental health resources for our students, to the special reimbursement rate, and just funding for our public schools overall, especially childcare, because childcare counts was set to stop direct payments by June 30th, right? And so those were some of the top line concerns that he had. Obviously, in the larger national scheme of things, we heard a lot about folks being concerned that their Medicaid was going to be cut off. So these are folks that you may know are on disability. It can be kids that you know, or even parents, or even your elderly folks, you know, who may need it for medications and care.
Special ed. I want to talk just for a second about special ed funding. We're coming to find out that special education funding is getting more expensive.
It is. And
there was like a 60% reimbursement rate that I think that your Democratic colleagues wanted, but the compromise was something like 45%. If we are not reimbursing special education at the rate requested by public educators, what do you think that does to overall special education in the state of Wisconsin?
Well, honestly, it doesn't meet the need. And so, you know, educators, teachers, superintendents have shared with us that they would have to make hard decisions and potential cuts of the services and resources that they provide to those students. And so that, on top of schools going to referendum to fund their schools, and obviously, you know, that's a nuanced issue here in Milwaukee, but the issue that's tied to it is property taxes, you know, and I've heard from residents that they want to support our public school education, but they cannot afford paying property taxes, and they don't want to be priced out of their homes. And so some of the compromises that were in this deal made it better. It was a harm reduction bill, and let me make that very clear. It was a harm reduction bill. It is nowhere near perfect because, as you said, I did not vote for it. It did not meet the needs that I was hearing from. But here are some of the things that were in the bill. So we did get some direct payments to child care providers. So we will not see the amount of child care closures that we would have been seeing had there not been Democrats at the table. And I want to be crystal clear about this one. They needed Senate Democratic votes to get there. And so
there were Republicans in the Senate that did not want to vote for this bill. So they had to rely on the minority party, Democrats, to get the votes. And so that is how you guys were able to get a couple of life-saving proposals in this bill, because the Republicans came to you.
Exactly. Okay. And mind you, look, we push for expansion of Medicaid and Badger Care, as well as postpartum. There's many things that we said, look, this is going to cost something. And so we know that the impact of pushing those things forward was necessary, and those were things that were just downright. So what we have in the budget here that's specific to Milwaukee that would be helpful, Milwaukee County actually got quite a bit of things, which is great. So, you know, they've been pushing hard to get resources to revamp their public safety building because they're obviously, the way that's set up, have folks potentially violating constitutional rights consistently. And the county exec was very intentional about saying this needs to be a priority. And so one thing that's unique that the county pays for that no other county does in the state of Wisconsin is we pay for our own state patrols, highways. And in every other county, the state pays for it. So the agreement that was made was the state will cover the highway patrol area, so in that way it opens up the funds that they need required to start the public safety, and they're actually getting direct funds for this. So it's not even a bonding authority as well.
So just so I'm clear, because the county executive mentioned this when he was with me a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Wisconsin State Troopers, which is a state patrol law enforcement agency where they are funded via state dollars, but when they patrol the highways and the byways of Milwaukee County, we Milwaukeeans pay for the state patrol instead of the state of Wisconsin, putting an unnecessary financial burden on our already stretched thin taxpayers here.
Exactly.
And that got taken out.
Yes. So now the state will cover that, and that opens up the pot of money for Milwaukee County to start building for the revisions for the public safety building. Our DAs were also at the verge of being cut. So DA Laverne shared with me and others that the DA positions that we have, I believe 12 of them, were funded by ARPA dollars. And those dollars were going to stop by the summer. And so if there was no additional funding, he would have had to cut half that. So when folks are talking about, why is no one getting prosecuted for bad behavior, whether it's reckless driving or crime, you would have seen a delay in that should the DAs not been if funded. So we were also able to get the funding necessary for Milwaukee's DAs to be established there.
Since I'm going to call this a Republican document, the governor signed it, are our taxes getting cut? Because, Republicans love to cut the taxes. So are we going to see a reduction in taxes?
Yes. So there is a tax plan that was in there as well. They focused on the tax reduction for folks that were retired. And so their focus was trying to send relief for folks of our older population, so to speak.
Well, we can get behind that, but what about middle-class families and working families and poor families?
Not nearly enough, no.
What about my property taxes, Dora Drake? Are the Republicans going to cut my property taxes, or can I expect those to go up?
Actually, those are going to go up. So part of the education deal was, like you said, they did increase the special ed reimbursement to 45%, but there is no general aid, meaning that our schools are still going to have to find other means of resources to fund them, meaning that that funding will not come from the state, but it will come from your property taxes.
Senator, could we possibly be facing, I hate to even have to say it, another school referendum? Because if special ed funding is not going to be reimbursed to the rate that is required, where else is the money going to come from? Obviously, property taxes going up, but could we see another referendum in the next couple of years?
Most likely.
All right. Let's talk to Vincent. Vincent, you're on 101.7 The Truth. Do you have a question or comment regarding the budget?
Yes, I do, Sherwin. I'd like to expound on that tax cut for seniors because I am a senior and then retired, so I'd like to expound on that. Also, did anybody deal with the $1 billion surplus that the
what happened to that? We used to have a bunch of money in the bank.
Yeah, nobody talks about that.
All right, thank you, Vincent.
Thank you.
So can you expand on how seniors are going to benefit and how their taxes are going to be reduced?
Yes. So long story short, actually, I will have to get back to you on that. So the other piece of this process is we were literally getting the technical amendments amended as we were waiting on the floor, and that's why we were waiting for so long. And so let me break it down. So the reason why we are still actually going through the budget, we know exactly how it's impacting seniors, Milwaukee, everyday folks in Wisconsin, is because there was a national deadline that we were trying to face. So, like I shared before,
and that's the Trump bill. You guys had to get this passed before Trump.
The big ugly bill, because that's what it is. The big ugly bill. In the big ugly bill, there was going to be a cap for how much we can charge for hospital assessments. And if we, as a state, did not pass the state budget, we would have lost out over $1 billion for the hospital. and Wisconsin would get a 30% skim off of that. So we're talking at least $300 million that can go towards Medicaid payments. So in a time where we know that the national GOP Republicans are trying to cut Medicaid, and we still haven't expanded Medicaid here, that was one of the impetus of trying to get this passed so quickly. So to you, Vincent, I'm more than happy to get additional details about how that impacts you, because you should know. One other thing about taxes is for your utilities, your light bills, there was actually a sales tax that all of us pay for, and that is a provision that was taken out of the budget. And so now all of us will not have to pay a sales tax on your energy bills or your light bills because of that as well.
That is something like $180 million in savings. But if I just think about it just rationally, why would we be paying a sales tax on something like a utility that each and every one of us needs? It just seems like it was an unfair application of the tax. Anyway, so I guess that is something that, because especially with all of the other cuts and the increase in our property taxes, and it may go up even further if we get a referendum, knowing that there are a couple of places where a little bit of money is going to be saved is good. Any other positives in this budget that are worthy of mentioning, Senator?
Yeah, so it's not a huge one, but I consider it still a win. I've heard a lot about the increased need of our food banks. You know, I've had really good conversations with Hunger Task Force, and they were sharing with me that they've seen an increase of folks using it up by 37%.
And then if SNAP benefits are going to get cut, there's going to be a very heavy burden here in Wisconsin on additional food banks.
Exactly. So I've been really intentional about pushing for food security, and thankfully we were able to get $10 million towards food grants. Again, I know that is crumbs compared to what the need might be. So it's $5 million first year, $5 million the second year, but it is something that is in there and hopefully can provide some sort of cushion given what might happen should this big ugly bill pass at the national level.
I think from the governor's perspective, isn't this bill just an example of compromise? Look, Republicans have control of the Wisconsin state legislature, and clearly they can make up the rules in a way in which the Democrats can't. But does this show that compromise is still a possibility? I know we don't see much of it at the federal level, but does this budget represent any kind of compromise between, especially because the Republicans had to come to you all in order to get the necessary votes to pass it? Could this be a new way of moving forward and compromising with the Republicans?
I would say it is because it's just a start. And I think this is an example of why elections matter. It's because in the Senate, we have more votes, and we know that next year's cycle that I believe that we will be in the majority. And so the fact that they need Senate Democratic votes to even get to that place means that clearly there needs to be more compromise to getting better things that we care for as Wisconsinites, right? And so is it perfect? Far from it. I do think that legislative Republicans should have done their job instead of waiting till the midnight hour and then needing a bailout. It's because, frankly, I'm still pretty upset about it. I'm upset because we've had people call day in and day out, received emails about the things that they cared about most. It was education, it was childcare, it was investments in Medicaid and finding some way to stop it if the feds wouldn't do anything about it. So we could have done way more. But in the spirit of what legislative Republicans didn't do, you know, from the governor's perspective, I can see why he wanted to make sure there was something. You know, would I vote on more? Absolutely. You know, because I want us to thrive. And this is, again, a harm reduction bill, a harm reduction budget.
Are you all in session? You guys are off for the summer, correct?
We are. So we are out of session for the summer, but there have been talks about should the impact of this big, horrible bill pass. You know, I and other colleagues have been talking about ways of if we can come back in session to address some of those pitfalls that Wisconsinites will be feeling, you know, should this pass. And it looks like there's a good chance it might.
The governor can call you all back into session pretty much at any time, correct?
Yeah, so the governor has the power to call any extraordinary session at any time.
State Senator Dora Drake, representing the good people of the 4th Senate District, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for coming to visit us. And if there are any necessary updates or anything that can impact our community, by all means, you're welcome to come back and share.
Sounds good.
All right. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's the Tsunami Express Car Wash 4th of July sale spectacular. Get 50% off any car wash now through July 6th. That's a long-lasting clean starting at just $5. With free vacuums, mat cleaners, and detailing tools, they make it easy to reset your ride inside and out. No stress, no mess, just a fresh, satisfying clean that fits right into your summer plans. Again, that's 50% off any car wash only through July 6th at Tsunami Express. Find your nearest location at tsunamiexpress.com.
Want to help build a better Milwaukee? 1MKE is a nonpartisan coalition of over 100 community partners, making it easier to plug into what matters. From local services that can save you time and money, to events that build community, to voting resources to ensure your voice is heard. Whether you're new to civic engagement or ready to level up your impact, there's a place for you with 1MKE. Learn more, get involved, and take their community feedback survey at 1mke.org. We are 1MKE.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened, and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight, or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease, and he's on dialysis, and he wants to get on the list, and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. Let's, who we got, Rick? Who was that on? Oh, Eastside Corey. Haven't heard from Eastside Corey in a while. What's so funny? What's everybody laughing? Ain't nothing funny going on in the world. It's a bunch of sadness happening in the world. Why are you so chipper?
Oh, well, it's a beautiful, sunny, hot day in Milwaukee. How are you, sir?
I mean, I'm doing all right. I'm getting ready for my weekend to start because, you know, I got tomorrow off because tomorrow is the 4th of July. It's a holiday tomorrow. It's America's birthday.
Yeah, it sure is. And I couldn't let the birthday go by without, first of all, apologizing to Sherwin. I got to start this off right.
What the hell you apologizing to me for, man?
For this man we call the president, this walking.
Oh! Now you want to apologize.
Well, I can't apologize because I'm in power and everything's set. But damn, he is too much.
So Corey, what was it? What was the final straw that broke the camel's back that now has you apologizing for Trump?
He does this stuff just to bug you. And that's like it's so childish. So stop. That's like, he's naming the new holding place in Florida. What's he calling it?
Alligator Alcatraz. I just saw a picture. It's already flooded. Like they showed the site, and it's already like underwater because of like the land that they picked for it is like prone to flooding.
I'm sure it's hilarious. This is his attempt to be dad funny, and it wears me out. It wears me down. It just wears me down.
Is he doing anything good? Okay. Are there any things that Trump is doing?
That's the thing. He does something good, but then he'll do that.
Give me an example. What's good from a Trump voter, Trump supporter? What's something good?
Whole Elon Musk. I no longer can call myself anything like a MAGA. I'm just who I am. I'm not affiliated with anything. I'm just going to go along with the truth.
What is something that he did though that you like?
That's making me nuts?
No, something that you liked. What is a positive accomplishment?
I like the show of force, and I like the 2-week. I'll check back in with you. I like that idea. For a peace agreement. Try it out, see if you like it.
Peace agreement with who? And what show of force do you like? What show of force with who?
The show of force of showing weaponry at the level that we can present it and use it. Yeah. Or the use of the stealth bomber use that was, the whole thing was.
So bombing a country.
Don't look over here.
You like that?
I like him bombing the Ayatollah nuclear program. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think we all do.
We took it offline for 30 days. We missed mostly. But all right, you like the show of force. We got a tough military. Got to use it every now and again. All right.
I like that. I like it. I like seeing it. And it's going to be here in a couple of weeks, when they do the air show over here over the lake.
Okay.
So
couldn't you just gone to the damn air show and seen the military might?
I know. That's what I said. That's what I said. But then tonight, I guess we have a drone show, so we reap the benefits of what we see.
I don't know why everybody's so mad at the drone show. It's a lot cheaper. Plus, you can reuse the drones. You can't reuse fireworks.
Well, exactly. Why is the fireworks still illegal in Wisconsin? Everything else is.
Because idiots blow their damn hands off and they start fires. That's why. Because people are stupid.
That's it. They forget that they light it all at the same time. That's white people.
It's a lot of us. My neighborhood is going to turn into a war zone because all the blacks and they damn fireworks.
Who taught them? Because they believe little Bobby Sue down the block, the little white boy. No. You got to go to Uncle Sherwin show you how to set up some M8 like you used to. Okay? But that's neither here nor there. Have a great 4th of July. Be safe. Okay. Watch the drone show. And what I like about you, sir, is your wonderful presenter this morning, going down line by line. I like that a lot. I really appreciate it. I'm learning a lot of things I needed to hear and needed to learn. And if it comes from you as my source, then so be it.
Oh, well, that's nice to say.
Yeah.
Coming from a gay Trumper.
All
right.
Right, exactly. I'm getting fed. I'm getting fed where I'm not getting fed, and that's the meat I need. So I appreciate it coming from you.
Hold on, man. Whoa.
So you can't be all bad, Sherwin. Plus, yesterday, shout out to your listeners, and you let our Negro poet, what is it? When you're a poet and you don't know it, Al, he was on fire yesterday. Shout out to Al. You got a real gift, and thank you for Sherwin for allowing it to, do its thing yesterday, because it was talking to me, talked to a lot of people. And you have an award-winning broadcast, my friend, with yesterday's performances, I must say.
I don't even really remember what happened yesterday other than Denise being here.
You need to listen to it and save it. It's a keeper.
Oh,
that's
it's saved.
The one.
All
that's
right.
the one you keep. Yeah. Re-listen to it, because you're on true form. And you're wonderful. wonderful host, and you're doing this whole station is doing fantastic.
Thank you.
The more you're yourself, the better it is. Yeah. Yep. And shout out to Tori for getting his day, for doing his thing, and it's nice to see our people winning. And that includes you.
Thank you very much. That's very nice.
Great work.
All right, you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, he said, did you hear what he said? He said, Sherwin, you just continue to feed me, and that's the meat that I need. Y'all gonna have people thinking the wrong thing, okay? Why do you have to say it like that? I didn't feed him any meat. That's not what I feed people. I feed people information.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
We might as well keep our streak going. Hi, Al from Sherman Park.
Hey, how you doing, Sherwin?
Have you two ever met? Have you and Eastside Corey?
I know Corey. Corey probably doesn't think I know Corey, but he was the one that told me David died of colon cancer, so he'll know now which Al I am.
Who is David?
David is a very famous Milwaukee artist, and Corey works in art.
Was he gay too?
Was David gay? David was gay. He was my neighbor, and then later became Corey's, I think, roommate at one time.
So y'all,
I think that's how I did
y'all just be
Corey.
like clicked up, like y'all know you have like a community.
Well, we're old. It was a very small community back then, so you basically.
What was it like
everybody.
being gay in the 80s? It had to have been really rough. It's better now.
I probably
right
87. When 87, I came out and was go to La Cage, and the Stenny's people would get out after bar and yell slurs across the street at us. I remember that. I kind of remember the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff, because when the people started coming up missing, I thought it was a drug thing. I was like, how are these people coming up missing? There must be drugs going on. But then the whole Jeffrey Dahmer thing broke, and that kind of shook me to my core, because, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer would have been one of those people you thought was nice looking and would have gone home with them.
Oh, no.
And yeah, you would have been. I didn't. I wasn't one of his victims, but anyway.
Do you like white guys? Like, what kind of gays do you like? What's your favorite flavor?
I like people of all colors, believe it or not.
Okay.
I like people of all colors, but I tend towards tan, olive skin, or darker with dark hair. I'm not into blondes. Blondes don't do anything for me. A nice redhead is interesting. Anyway.
And you're talking, this is crazy because you're talking about men. I'm like, oh, you don't like blondes? Oh, a redhead is interesting. But when I hear redhead, I think woman. You're talking about a redheaded man. What makes a man handsome?
A good chest and nice biceps and manners. Not smoking. To me, not smoking. I can't stand cigarette smoke. I can't stand to be around it, so I don't find that of interest.
Okay. Thank you. This is not even why you called, but I just found this fascinating. Pow!
Yeah.
So did Tori.
Yeah, the big beautiful bill.
Oh yeah.
They did put some fixes in there for the hospitals that they thought were going to close in rural areas. They put in a $50 billion pot, I guess, to bail out rural hospitals. And I think one of the things they're planning on is that there's supposed to be this big economic boom they think is going to save them. And then much of the larger cuts happen in, year 26 through 28. So those won't happen immediately. But we do need to get some of these people off of Medicaid that wasn't intended for them to be on these health programs, like when we have illegal entrants come in and we're paying for their housing, we're paying for their medical care. We've got to get them off of that, and by that they probably just need to go home and live in their country and use those services there.
So Eastside Corey called in, and he essentially apologized for voting for Donald Trump, and he is regretful of what Trump is doing. You're not at all apologizing for the president. You're still supporting.
I knew what he was doing. Now, I got into it with some MAGA supporters over this boasting about the military. I said, stop boasting about the biggest bad. You just set people up to want to dethrone you, to want to attack you. And then the president does mess with people too much, but then I don't really listen to him like that. I don't stay glued to Twitter, and that Twitter is the most negative cesspool area you can go into on social media, because that's all people do is argue and insult. And I do believe that stuff is unnecessary, but as far as ideas, I do like his fresh approach to things. And I do agree that after all these presidents had talked about bombing Iran, this one actually did it. Stop. After a while, you become the boy who cries wolf, and then no one believes you. So that's not a good place to be in if you're the United States. But outside of that, the unnecessarily gaslighting people and calling things alligator Alcatraz, and that stuff is unnecessary, and that just does not win people over to your side. But I like fresh ideas.
Okay. Well, thank you for that clarification on a bunch of different topics. All right, have a good weekend.
You too. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th, man. He said he don't like blondes, but he like to snack on a redhead every now and again. He said, "What's wrong, Rick?" I'm just asking this man I'm curious about this stuff. Like what? Like he looks at a man that's like, "Oh, tasty." Men are gross. It's disgusting. Women, even the not good women, are still pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Because, like pizza. Somebody be like, Sherwin, we got pizza. I'm like, oh. Where's it from? Oh, it's from Domino's. I'm like, okay, but I'm still eating it. You know what I mean? Oh, boy. We're going to take a break, come back and take a couple of calls. We're going to talk to Miss C, and it looks like someone else is calling as well, so we'll grab some telephone calls. What the hell? Whatever you guys want to talk about. Gay stuff, straight stuff, normal stuff, abnormal stuff, Trump, the big beautiful bill, the big ugly bill, whatever. Do you want to talk about politics? Apparently, they catch the guy that shot the Shorewood cop. They caught him. I see you guys chatting in the YouTube. It's real hard for me to follow along with the speed at which you guys are chatting in YouTube, and then the text messages that we get. I'm lying. I don't check the text messages. Sorry, I probably should. And then also trying to keep the conversation going and then answering the phone. So I'll take a break, come back, and we'll continue our conversation. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I don't even care. I don't care. Ladies, how many of you have kissed a woman? Well, if you have, you're a lesbian. You can't get away with just because if I kissed a man, I'm gay. I haven't, though. I don't want to. Men are disgusting and men are gross. Men smell bad. Okay? Men are gross. But think about this. If y'all see me out in the streets kissing on some dude named Harold, you'll be like, oh, Sherwin is gay. But if you see a woman kissing another woman, like, oh, look, that's sexy. It's gay. Right? All right. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee, it's time to turn the TV off and turn your speakers up so you can hear what the future leaders of the world have to say. Truth Nation, I'm proud to present the 8 Block, powered by City on the Hill and 1017 The Truth, hosted by me, your boy, Ben Jammin. Every other Saturday at 9 a.m., 8 Milwaukee teams will share stories and laughs that will speak truth to what matters most in their lives.
I'm here to discover different levels about myself.
I'm really here to get my name out there and have a different perspective on life.
So tap in every other Saturday at 9 a.m. Truth Nation, welcome to the 8 Block.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, July 10th from noon to 3 p.m. at 2 locations. Visit us at Northcott Neighborhood House, located at 2460 North 6th Street, and at Garden Homes Park, located at 2600 West Atkinson Avenue. Vendors from multiple employment sectors will be present to meet with you and share opportunities for hiring, training, upskilling, and more. We will also feature a live DJ, food and refreshments while supplies last, and the chance to make your next career move. Your success matters, and we are here for it. Brought to you by council members Andrea Pratt and Malele A. Coggs. Sponsored by City of Milwaukee, Milwaukee Common Council, City of Milwaukee Department of Administration, Office of Community Wellness and Safety, Northcott Neighborhood House, Fathers Making Progress, Northwest Side Community Development Corporation, State of Wisconsin DWD, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, UMOS, DCMKE, 30th Street Corridor, Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee, Milwaukee County Parks, Maximus, and Amplifier.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Turn up the summer vibes at Chula Vista Resort, your playground for summer dreams, water parks, and sun-soaked pools, epic water slides, soaring zip lines, and world-class golf. Dine in the #1 steakhouse in Wisconsin, Chula Vista Resort. Call 1-800-388-4782 or visit chulavistaresort.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our telephone number is 833-212-1017. I don't know why I said that with such authority. Let me say it normal. 833-212-1017. You ever notice sometimes when people talk, at the end of the sentence, their inflection of their voice goes up? I hate that! So you're listening? You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, and it's on every day from 9 until noon. And if you want to call in, you can. I'll punch you in your throat. Don't talk like that. You're listening to 1017 The Truth, or you're listening to 1017 The Truth. Let's talk to Miss C. Thank you for holding, Miss C. What's on your mind today?
Hey, how are you? You're on my mind today. Back in March, I told you I was going to do your poem, and actually I did it right after we got off the line, but there have been some complications going on. So it's already been sent to someone to print it up and everything. So he's on the line. He has his own business. And I want to know if he can come and present it to you. So I had to call first.
No, we ain't doing that no more because I don't know him. No offense, and I appreciate the poem.
Well, he's on the phone right now. He can
read it, but he can't come here because we got snipers on the roof here now. So if he wants to read it, he can.
Well, there's no way that he can give it to you hands-on.
He can put it in. He can put it in the mail.
Put it in the mail.
I mean, he can email me. Like y'all got to understand. Like for my safety, and I'm sure you're all very lovely people. But I had somebody come. Like I'm not engaged in that no more, just because. No, but thank you if you want to post it on the internet.
I'll give it to Tory Lowe. I'll give it to Tory Lowe, and he'll give it to you. Because I know him very well.
Okay. Don't put Tory Lowe in the middle of this. Is it like on fancy paper or something?
Well, actually, it's nice. It's in the frame, like I told you. I even made one up for your mother. And also,
really don't go to her house. Can I just give you? Can you mail it to me? Can I give you a mail address?
Yeah. Well, you can give it off. You're
not going to read it
and then
to
I
me?
also.
Can you read it?
Well, if you want him to read it. Well, yeah.
So you have a person
really
there.
nice.
What is the person that you're there with doing? They have the poem, correct?
Right. He's the one that did all the artwork and everything.
And he's on the phone.
He's
there with you.
Yeah, he's on the phone with you right now. Yeah. name is Derek.
Yeah, I'm just listening to you. Go back. You two go back. I was just hired by Miss.
She hired you? Like she paid you money?
Say her name. Oh yeah. But it's a real nice. It's a nice poem. She had me put in a frame for you, print it up nicely. Even put the poem onto a T-shirt. You know, it's real thoughtful of her.
That's wonderful.
I'm just I'm just the person
He's just a businessman.
But it definitely could be mailed. I'm Derek. My name is Derek. I actually own Derek Books on 76 and Locust, and so she, she's a good client of mine who calls in, and she has a good heart and great poetry. So she was telling me she got excited about a project.
How about you can drop it off here? You can drop it off at the front desk. But you can't get past the front desk.
Okay. No, not. I know exactly what you're. I'm in business too, and I know what you're talking about. So definitely, I was going to do that favor for her, and she hired me to do it. But she really put a lot of thought into it. So yeah, definitely, I believe you'll like it. So
I'm sure I'm going to love it. I wish you guys would read it because I got to take a break in a little while. You don't want to read it? Because reading it, and then actually, it's going to be a surprise? Or is it cussing in it? Maybe it's got bad words in it.
No. It's really describing what you do, for the community on your show. It's really fulfilling. It's very fulfilling, very detailed, very into, your personality, your character, and it just puts a format of what, or an overview of what you represent.
See, this means way more to me than one of these old funky-ass WBA awards they be giving. See, this poem means more to me than anything the Wisconsin Broadcast Association could ever give me. They can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Derek, you feel like reading it to him?
I can read it on your behalf.
Everybody hold on, because I got to take a break. So y'all figure it out now. You hold on. We gonna come back and everybody hang on now. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth has you covered with front-row access passes to the best concerts at Summerfest this year.
Tune in to all your favorite Truth shows every day so you do not miss your chance to win tickets and wristbands to see artists like Offset, Bossman D-Lo, Ira Star, T Grizzly, and so many more.
Do not miss your chance to see these artists up close and personal during Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance.
Carrie, where's Tori Lowe and Dr. Ken at? I'm trying to knock these commercials out.
How am I supposed to know, Sherwin?
Well, I'm about to do their parts because my impressions are on point anyway. This is Dr. Ken Harris from Truth in the Afternoon, and I want you to download the Truth app in the Google Play Store and Apple Store so you can never miss my show or any of the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Really, Kyle?
Sherwin, you are crazy.
Sherwin, your impression of me is horrible. Move. Give me my mic. I guess I'll just repeat what Sherwin said. Go to the Google Play Store or Apple Store to download the 1017 The Truth app today so you can take the home of Milwaukee Black Talk with you wherever you are.
Can't listen live? Download the new 1017 The Truth app on your smartphone today to catch up on all your favorite shows. Search 1017 The Truth on your Google Play Store or Apple App Store so you don't miss out on any of the action.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to, I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and like listen. I just want someone to yap to, and I just feel like I'll be fine. Like if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job, and I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it, and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at soundidouttogether.org. That's soundidouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Somebody wrote me a poem. Miss C wrote me a poem, and she got it framed. She paid a man to make it fancy, to frame it and stuff. Y'all don't have to do that. Y'all don't have to. I appreciate it. But are you there, Miss C? And who we with? Derek?
Yes.
Derek.
Yes, he's here.
Yep.
Yeah. He also laminated one for your mom.
Yeah, she had me laminated one for your mom too. I mean, and definitely I could also mail it in to you as well. So, you let me know.
Well, it's probably easier if you drop it off, but just, we had a situation here. So if the person you drop it off to at the front desk invites you to come down to the studio, just politely decline. Just leave it at the front desk. But I'd love to hear the poem. I'd love to hear it.
Okay. So
You're not going to hear all of it. You're going to hear some of it.
Yeah, she want me to read a little bit of it.
Okay, just a little. That's fine. I'll see the rest when I receive it.
Give him the title of it.
The title is Wisdom and Knowledge Become You. Surely you are not antiquated. You're not old-fashioned. Neither are you outdated. You're relevant for the present time and the moment. You are always substantial in your knowledge, your teaching, your wisdom, your explanation, and your implementation. You are so antiquated with all types of regulatory information that reaches to the impediment of one's very being. The mind resonates and relates to the present, current times, and events. And whenever you speak, you can speak as a roaring lion, even as tender as a lamb soothes whatever it is that we need to understand. You put grief in its place, and you fill the mind with knowledge. You fill the heart with the beating of sensitivity of time. You allow us to get the information that we need to sustain us, to keep us, to help us, to make us think, to enlarge our mental capacity, to bring us to a place where we can actually know and understand and relate to what it is that you're saying.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, because it's a couple more paragraphs. That's a little bit of it.
That's beautiful.
That's a little bit of it.
Like this, I'm serious. This might be the nicest thing anybody has ever done for me. This really, really means a lot. Like I'm very serious. Thank you guys so much.
She's was very adamant about getting it to you and everything. So she definitely has a high level of respect for what you do, and I appreciate what you do through her. So I'm just learning. We learn about different stuff that So I learned her through you.
I can't thank you enough.
Okay, so
learn you through her. I'm sorry. Yep. So yeah.
Thank you guys. No, I'm really touched. Like this means a lot. This means that what I say and what I do and some of the sacrifices that I make, and I sit here and I speak in this microphone for 3 hours a day, and sometimes I think nobody hears me, nobody listens, I think nobody understands, but you just, with that little bit of that poem, just made everything that I do worth it, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Definitely. Thank you, and I'll make sure you get that.
Okay. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Where to drop it off, man? Come on.
301 West Wisconsin Avenue. Good Karma Brands
thank you.
radio station. Okay.
Okay. All right. God bless.
Oh,
Take
God
care.
bless you too. All right, everybody, take care. I have a feeling they'll be in the studio in 12 minutes. I just have a feeling they'll just be here. Okay, let me talk to Tina. Is that you?
Yes. Tina? Yes.
That ain't Tina. I hear Bob.
Hey, look at that picture, man. That's what you call cool. You see that picture?
Yeah, Bob, I'm looking at it right now. Is this really you?
21. I was cool, man. Except I had pictures, man. I mean, I dressed up 4 times a week. This day, I had to wrestle, so I wore some khakis and a long shirt.
Bob, you look like a pimp.
Otherwise,
You look like a pimp, Bob.
I was cool, man. Then I learned I was square, but I was cool back then.
You don't look like a square. You look like you got women on the track. I think we're going to post this picture on our social media so everybody can see it. But this is actually a really good. Bob, I'm going to be honest with you. This is actually a very good picture. It is a cool picture. You look like an old player from the Himalayas.
See, the difference is women and their mamas bought their clothes. I work 12 hours a day, 5 days a week during the summer and every holiday and weekend to buy my clothes. And women came to my locker to see what I had on because I was clean, man.
Yo, you clean in this picture, Bob. You are. Well, thank you for sending it. I'm done talking to you for the day. Tina, thank you for sending it on his behalf.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Hey, I ain't going to lie to you. Bob looked like a player in this picture. Bob was a little player back in the day. All right, let's talk to Al. Al, I got 2 people on hold ahead of you.
Well, I'm going to make it short and sweet. I just want everybody to have a good weekend and make sure you get that front end working at and them ball joints loosen up. But what kind of caught me off guard, I'm surprised that Al didn't say nothing about the undocumented Europeans that came over here from Europe that's getting all kind of services. And I'm surprised Al from Sherman Park didn't say nothing about 219 and C'est La Vie down the street from La Case, because, you know, that used to be the Blade. And the guy who used to own C'est La Vie on that whole block. And the number one thing
gay
that
bars,
makes
right? Talking about a bunch of gay bars. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy who owns C'est La Vie, you own the whole block. But the number one thing Al didn't tell you is the number one thing that makes anybody handsome is their money. And everybody know white men are very, very freaky. Just look up leather men, because they're going to need some Medicaid.
Wow.
Have a good day.
All right, then. Thank you.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Talking about the power is in the man's seed and the warmth. Talking about breed me, breed me. Al, you better stop it. You have yourself a good weekend and happy holidays. Bye-bye.
That sounded like personal. Did you hear what he... Look at... We put a picture of Bob on YouTube. Look at Bob. Look at Bob. Zoom in on Bob. Looking like a player. Look at Bob. Watch your mouth. Okay. Let's talk to Thomas. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you, Thomas?
All right. One thing I need to say is I agree with the poem that was read.
Thank you.
Highly, highly, much respect for you, bro. Highly.
Thank you. I
That's
really
all I need to
appreciate
say.
that. All right.
Yep.
Have a good weekend, Tom. You guys are being nice. Am I dying or something? Why everybody being nice? Huh? I don't. It's weird. I mean, I appreciate it, but all right. Oh, look at this here. Here we go. Good morning. How are you today, sir? How are you?
Professor Hughes, love the show. Just a little dig there. I also love the poem, and I wrote one about you too. And can I read it?
Oh, what the hell? Why not?
Okay, and this is especially for you. Okay, Sherwin is a winner. I wish I could get to know her, for their mind in the winter exceeds mine in the summer. Yeah, it's a lot of metaphor, but it's about what
you call me a her,
which is a season of bounty.
You don't have to frame that.
Did you like her?
You didn't. I'm just saying that you don't pay somebody to frame that. Don't ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's in my mind.
Oh, you just came up with that right off of the top of your head?
Yeah. Well, I am a poet. Remember, I'm the poet and the laureate of Nina, and I'm writing all the time. So, and that's about all.
Yeah, that is.
I haven't been able to.
Yep, that's about
all. Because I had just a new job of working in it. But I
wait. Hold on. Wait. Where do you work? Where do you work?
I can tell you because Mother's not listening, I don't think. And I got a job working for the Baptists, and I do the video tech, and Mother wouldn't like that. She's a strict Catholic, and but you gotta bring the bacon home somehow. And so I'm busy and doing live stream and what have you, and whatever.
You live stream? Like we can see you on a video stream somewhere.
No, I have to live stream the whatever you call it, the mass or the church.
Oh, you broadcast the church.
Yeah.
Okay, the church session or whatever you call it. All right.
Yeah.
The sermons.
Whatever. It's not sexy.
Okay. Thank you for something, I guess, for the poem. So that's cool. All right then, Andy. How's your radio show going?
No, I've got to take July off, but we're really tightening it up, and I'd love to have you on. I had this guy, Murray Kondo from Queens. He was just walking by, and he came on, and he told me, get a load of this. He said he came to Milwaukee to get what did he call it, a cheese dog or a cheese dog. He said that they deep fry bratwurst in custard. He called it a cheese dog, and I said that's not even true.
They deep fry a brat in custard?
That's what he said. He's from New York, and I said you got bad info, Murray. And but I'd love to have you. You could 2 minutes. I'd love to just talk to you and just. I think my people need to hear you. And then
wonder if you could figure out what that is.
What's that?
Okay. Well, we had a production meeting, and I thought we had this all sorted out, Wailita, but we'll get it there.
Yeah, she's figured it out now.
Good afternoon.
So if I went to your radio show, would I actually get to meet Wailita? Because I don't think she exists.
Yes.
Yes. To you.
Yeah, you should listen to episode 36. That one is really good.
Mother's
we have
with Andy and Wailita.
We have a new intern.
We start every.
What is your radio? What do you do? Do you talk about? Is it talk radio? Is it music? Like what? Because what am I listening to? What is this?
We'll end every show with her breathing close.
Yeah, we have a top mother's countdown to 5 best of. And this last week it was a mother's countdown to 5 best of ways to keep cool, because it's getting hot. And then sometimes Dougie, the weather doings with Dougie Dondrling. And he calls in and he gives the weather from I don't know where. But it's always storming wherever Dougie is. And then Father sends in text messages. And every show starts with a mother's diary.
Let's just say, despite Carter's victory,
that's Mother's Diary.
I'm not too happy about the faithless elector in Washington State voting for a Hollywood nobody.
What music do you use? That's actually kind of a decent little groove you have in the background. Where do you get your music selections from?
Yeah, well, I mainly play records from Mother's LP collection. And you can hear it. I bet Bob knows Eddie Harris. I play a lot of Eddie Harris and all kinds of good stuff. And
okay.
And this last, you really like it. Check out episode 36.
Okay.
I swear to God.
I might do that. But thank you, Andy, for, I don't know.
I'll send you a link.
I know you will. I know. Thank you.
All right. You have a great day. Stay away from the god-awful fireworks. I don't have a temper, but boy, oh boy, when they start going up, Godzilla, Lemonhead, Golden Boy 1 and Golden Boy 2 just head for the hills. And I don't like it.
All right, then. Thank you.
Okay.
Did you hear how he ended the call? He just uttered. What's going on today? Is it because Trump is signing the bill? Is that why everybody's... Did you hear what Al said? I kind of want to... I got to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to... I don't know. I guess I'm just going to answer the phone. Whatever you guys... It's your show. You guys can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You guys want to call in and... I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't understand. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Okay.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Okay.
Good Karma Brands would like to send out a big congratulations to Tori Lowe. Tori recently received a proclamation from both the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. So going forward, July 5th will now be recognized as Tori Lowe Day. Tori's activism, advocacy, and hard work makes Tori more than deserving of this recognition. Tori's family at 1017 The Truth celebrate Tori for always being about that action. And we know this is just the beginning, and there is so much more to come as a result of Tori's efforts and leadership. Congratulations again, Tori.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. The Pella Experience Center in Brookfield lets you see, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of windows and door options from 7 different Pella lines side by side. A friendly expert can go over Pella's endless possibilities for all price ranges, from colors to hardware to custom designs, ensuring you get the best possible look for your home. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you get the look you want at a price you can afford. Stop by soon, because if you order by July 31st, you can get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. It's off Blue Mound Road, kitty corner to Cops, or schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
still playing in the background? I don't know what's happening. So apparently somebody else is dead. You guys are telling me in the YouTube chat. So is the person that, well, we don't know yet. The medical examiner was called to where? Zach, you sent me something. I don't know what you sent me. Medical examiner was sent to where? 6th and Reservoir? Is that the person that shot the Shorewood cop? Or do we not know? I made a sad prediction. It ain't even a damn weekend yet, and they already shooting. Minimum 10 shootings, 3 homicides this weekend. I don't want that to be the truth. I don't want that to be the case. But it's just a free-for-all out there. And if they shooting in Shorewood now, even if you want to run from the city, because, you know, the wildebeest and the heathens and the violence in Milwaukee, and you go out to the greener pastures of Shorewood, where your house is very expensive and your property taxes are very high, and you want to go out there to get away from the violence in the city, well, surprise, surprise, Shorehood. You might as well come on back to the city. At least we got more stuff to do. Shorewood ain't got nothing but a camp bar. Camp bars in Shorewood. What else is in Shorewood? Oh, no, they got that Italian restaurant on Oakland. The Conca de Oro. Have you been there? Oh, it's good. I was going to take a girl there for Valentine's Day, but we didn't end up going because it was snowing too much. Other than that, Shorewood ain't really got anything. I mean, they got, if you live in a certain part of Shorewood, I guess you can see Lake Michigan, but that ain't worth it. Cops are getting shot in Shorewood. This is just not, these are not good times that we're living in. Then Donald Trump's got the big, beautiful bill. Apparently it's right on track, right on schedule to be signed on July 4th, which makes it even worse because there is a bill that's going to do infinite harm to tens of millions of people. And Donald Trump said from the beginning he wanted to sign it on July 4th. All sorts of people that wanted to harm Donald Trump or hurt his political prospects, and really it's Republicans that should be wanting to derail Donald Trump, because a lot of these Republicans that are voting for and have voted for the big, beautiful bill, or the big, ugly bill, as Senator Drake called it when she was here a little while ago, they're going to lose their seats. And here's what some of these Republicans don't get. And I'm just a layperson in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They are sacrificing their entire political careers to give Donald Trump the votes that he needs to harm the very voters that are not going to return those same Republicans to the House and to the Senate. They supported a bill that is going to end their careers, but here's what they believe. Here's what they believe versus what is actually going to happen. Some of these Republicans think that if they sacrifice all that they're sacrificing, and I know that Republicans, especially in rural areas, are getting a bunch of very angry phone calls from their constituents. Please don't take away my SNAP benefits. Please don't take away my Medicaid. Please don't, reduce the funding that we get for a whole host of things. And they're ignoring all of those people. Those people will turn into voters. But here's what those Republican legislators think by supporting this bill that is going to harm the very people that put them in office. They think that Donald Trump is going to come and campaign for them. It's this very unusual phenomenon that if there's a piece of legislation that harms people and takes away funding, that turns people's lives completely upside down and puts more burden on states to try and make people whole, if Donald Trump just comes and does a rally and comes and visit these places, those people that are harmed will forgive Trump for harming them. It's the weirdest phenomenon ever. And so several of these Republicans, especially those that live in more purple districts or swing districts, or maybe they are a Republican in a congressional district that Joe Biden actually won, meaning that district can go either way, those Republicans are probably being told by Trump, if you vote for the bill, I'll campaign for you. I'll raise you millions and millions and millions of dollars. That's what Trump is telling them, and they're believing it. And they're saying, okay, Mr. President, I'm going to vote for this bill. But, Mr. President, I need you to know that 50,000 people in my district are going to lose their food subsidy, their housing subsidy, their energy assistance, and they're going to lose their health care. But if you come and campaign for me, Mr. Trump, it'll be okay, and I'll give you my vote. I'll come campaign so many times. I'll be there every weekend. I'll be there a lot. When the midterm elections come up, Trump ain't going to campaign for none of them. None of them. He has his favorites now. He's got a few that he's going to campaign for. But the Republicans that are in the most vulnerable districts that are going to lose, Trump is going to forget all about them. One of the reasons, and it's not an excuse, but one of the reasons why so many Republicans are so loyal to Trump is because they're afraid that if they vote against him or if they're, voting in favor of their constituents, that Donald Trump will find someone to primary them, to run against them. So they're going along with whatever Trump wants, even if it hurts not just their constituents, but tens of millions of people in this country. Like, I'm trying to find the words to get people to have a better understanding and feel the gravity of what happens when you take away people's safety nets. When people can't eat, I'm afraid of hungry people, because if you're hungry, you will rob. If you got hungry kids, if you're a father and you're out of work and the economy is expected to take a dump next year, and you're out of work and you can't find work and some of the benefits that you qualified for, because, when people fall on hard times, we got to make sure them and the kids can eat now. Now, we can be very selfish as people every now and again as Americans, but I think when it comes down to it, if you explain to somebody, hey, if you take away these resources, kids are going to go hungry, then Americans will be like, well, no, we're okay with 9 cents of our paycheck going to feed children, because it's not even a lot of money. The majority of the money, when you talk about how much money the federal government spends, I'm just going to be real with you. This doesn't mean you're going to change your attitude, your opinion, or your political affiliation, but the majority of the money that we as working people give to the federal government goes to tax breaks for billionaires. That's where the money goes. That and defense. That's it. Money don't go to, well, we got to cut out the federal funding for PBS. It's like 12 cents a year for public broadcasting and all the little things that the Doge found. But they don't touch the money that we give to big businesses and companies and corporations. They're taking your money. We are paying taxes so rich people don't have to. And that's just what it is. And some of y'all think that you're going to be rich one day. Like, oh, when I get rich, I'm not going to pay any taxes either. Well, good luck getting rich. On one of my shows this week, I gave people a whole bunch of ideas on how to get into the 1% so then you can live a lavish life like some of these billionaires do. And I wish you all good luck. I hope you make it. But that's where our money is going. To people that don't even need it. But I'm worried about what's going to happen because I'm seeing these upticks in violence right now. And we have the violence funding and the violence prevention when it's all gone and people can't find work and people are hungry and people are not going to go to the doctor. They can't go to the doctor because they lost their health care coverage. Mortality rates are going to go up. It's going to be a whole mess. And here's what's crazy. The man in the White House, he does not care. They said he didn't even read the bill, don't even know what's in it. Doesn't know what's in it. He just wanted it to be big. He wanted it to be bold. And he wanted to have his name on it. That's it. And it's hurting people. And things are going to get worse before they get better. A lot of people are going to get shot this weekend. I want you guys to stay safe. Don't get into an argument with somebody. If somebody wants to argue with you, respectfully decline. Because it isn't worth it. Police Chief Flynn said something some years ago, and he took a lot of heat for it. If I could find that clip, I don't even know what to search. But he's like, it was something like, if you're getting into an argument with someone that has a gun, don't argue anymore. It was really sound advice, but the way he said it, or it was after like some incident or some tragedy. And I think alderpersons at the time accused former Chief Flynn of being condescending, but it made sense. If you're in an argument with somebody, or it was something like if you're getting into an argument with someone who's got felonies on the record, he said something, but it made sense to me. I was like, that's sound advice. Because a lot of these arguments are stupid. Well, where the cop got shot and got killed, Officer Corder, that was over a woman. You shot 2 cops over a woman? Stop that, you guys. There's so many other ladies that will not require you to shoot the police. I heard something, and it's not nice, but I heard it from a woman, though. But I want to flip it around and use this particular saying as a man. Because y'all don't shoot anybody over a significant other. Like, don't do that. It's stupid. And you probably don't even really like the person anymore. You just don't want somebody else to have them. Let them be somebody else's problem. Stop fighting over these worthless people. This woman said she would rather give 20 men a chance than to give 20 chances to one man. That was bars. So what if I say it? I would rather give 20 women a chance than give 20 chances to one woman. That makes sense to me. That's sound. Because in those 20 women, you're going to find you some gold. You know what I mean? Y'all keep giving the same knucklehead a chance over and over and over again, and they don't change. Women, y'all be falling for, oh, baby, I'm sorry. I'm going to change. No, he's not. You promise? Yeah. Duh. I promise I'll change. No, he's not. I would rather give 20 women a chance than give 20 chances to one woman. That is really sound advice. And when you think about it, you can't find any fault in that argument. First of all, why are you giving one person 20 chances? What's the limit on chances? Like 3, 2? Well, it depends on what they did. Y'all forgave people that slept with your brother. If my brother humps my girlfriend, I'd probably be like, hey, man, good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what could I say? Shout out to my brother. In fact, you know what? Let me tell you what's crazy. At my very first Beyond the Mic last year, my brother left with one of my ex-girlfriends, and I was cool with it. I had my hands full at the time. But stop giving these people chances. Don't get into any arguments this weekend. If somebody is mad, walk away from them. If someone is getting angry at a Popeye's chicken, run. Don't stick around for that. I know you guys want to video record and you want to get the footage. Think of your safety. People are very violent these days. Cops are getting shot. Got a 4th of July weekend coming up. People are saying in the YouTube chat that the medical examiner is somewhere on 6th and Reservoir, so somebody is dead over there. It's still the morning time. It's only Thursday. Everybody relax. Okay? Just everybody chill. Go get you a beer. Actually, no. Don't drink. Maybe that's what the problem is. Just go and do some meditation. Maybe we need community yoga. Tell the whites to come to some of these Central City parks and bring the goats. They do goat yoga. Maybe goat yoga is what we've been missing. We'll do goat yoga in the park. We'll go to Lincoln Park and do goat yoga. It'll be fantastic. All right, there's 2 ladies looking at me in the window. I'd rather those are my 20 women I'm going to give a chance to. All right, I'm going to take a break. You are listening to a very peace-loving Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the heels of this holiday weekend. I want you guys to be safe. Don't argue with anybody. Just go and eat some barbecue and relax. Watch some television maybe. Get outside, do a little yard work. Find alternative things to do. Don't go down to Water Street. There's a bunch of wildebeest down there. Don't do it. Just avoid Water Street at all costs. If you don't go to Water Street, then everything will be fine. Well, no, support the black businesses there, but then go home. So go to Water Street, do black business shopping, buy stuff, go home. Buy stuff, rinse and repeat, then go home. Don't stick around. It's very dangerous. It's very violent. A lot of wildebeest out there. Okay. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I've got to share that I am also a beneficiary of the Old National Bank Empowerment Loan Program. So, Tracy, with that being said, what is the Empowerment Loan Program?
Great. Well, the Empowerment Loan Program is a special purpose loan program that we launched 2 years ago. It has been a success. It was something, again, near and dear to the heart of not only our chairman and CEO, but just our organization as a whole. We work with contractors, consulting firms, retail food operations, daycares. In fact, so far, we've approved $50 million of loans to minority and women-owned businesses within a 2-year period.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners. It's 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let me tell you something, girl, I've been trying to say now.
I always saw a woman saying this song.
Look so sweet and you're so
It's not a woman. It's a man. His name is King Floyd. All right. I'm going to read some of the places you guys are ranting about in Shorewood. You guys can go to Shorewood all you want to. Cops is getting shot in Shorewood. They're going to start selling crack. You better go to those Shorewood businesses while you can. They're going to be boarded up very soon. Shorewood is going to hell in a handbasket. Ain't nobody going to know Shorewood. I take my chances in the city of Milwaukee. Let me explain. I'm going to use some math. Police officer was shot and killed in the city of Milwaukee last week. Very sad. Officer Corder. Shorewood has got 43 times less the population of the city of Milwaukee. 43 times less the population, meaning the cops getting shot in Shorewood is 43 times higher than in Milwaukee. 43 times higher. That's right. One cop getting shot in Shorewood is the equivalent of 43 police officers getting shot in Milwaukee. Where would you rather be? At least we have the Fiserv Forum and the Milwaukee Bucks. What does Shorewood have? A crappy high school football team? What does Shorewood have? What else do we have in Milwaukee? We have many great restaurants. What does Shorewood have? A couple of pubs. We have Bradford Beach in Milwaukee. What does Shorewood have? Atwood Beach? Boo. You got better beaches in Racine. No, you don't. Kidding. Sorry, Benjamin. Nobody likes Racine but you, sir. Ben, you're a Milwaukeean. You might as well just move here, dude. Do you need to divorce yourself from Racine and everything that goes on in Racine? You're better than that. Boy, you done made it. You don't need to be in Racine no more. You need to go ahead and just shed that skin. You Milwaukeean now. You don't listen. Racine is too small for you. You need to move here. You know you've been looking for apartments here. I know you've been looking. flipping through them little books looking for apartments. Ooh, this one is amazing. I know Benjamin been looking for apartments in Milwaukee. Benjamin don't even like Racine. He just feels like he has to like Racine. Kind of like some family members. You don't like them, but you feel like you have to like them because they're your family. Ben don't like Racine like that. Ben be going to North Beach and Racine and be disappointed. This is not amazing. All right. LT says Shorewood has the Three Lions Pub, the North Shore Bistro, the Broad House. I will give a shout out to Cloud Red. So Cloud Red is owned by this woman named Rebecca. I grew up with Rebecca Goldberger. I've known her literally my whole life. And that's actually a dope little spot. We had our high school reunion at the Cloud Red. It's a nice little restaurant in Shorewood. It's on that must be Oakland, but it's north, probably 5, 6, 7 blocks north of Capitol. It's a nice little spot. But other than that, Shorewood is, it's turning into a bad place to live. So Three Lions Pub, the North Shore Bistro, the Broad House, Cloud Red. LT says great food and pubs in Shorewood. Usually nobody getting shot. Oh, but here's the thing, LT. When somebody does get shot, it's a cop. So there's that. Like one cop getting shot is the equivalent of just like 10 normal people that are not cops getting shot. I'm not going to Shorewood anytime soon. Not spending my money there. The people there are thugs. They don't know how to. Where are their kids? They probably don't know how to train their kids properly. The kids in Shorewood are unruly. Most of the women in Shorewood are probably single mothers. They are. Look at how the community is falling apart. And it's expensive. Why would you spend all that money for rent, all that money for your mortgage, all that money for your property taxes in a place where the police are getting shot? Shorewood? No. Shorehood? Absolutely. You ain't catching me in Shorewood. In fact, if you see somebody in Shorewood just like walking around, you know what they're doing? Selling their body. No, seriously, it's a very sad state of affairs how Shorewood has just fallen so terribly underneath anything respectable in such a short period of time. If you see somebody walking in Shorewood, they're about to commit a robbery probably. A robbery, or they're looking for dope or selling it. No, thank you. All right, let's see what we got here. The situation at Halyard Park. Is this where they have apprehended the suspect? Tactical situation near Brewers Hill neighborhood connected to the Shorewood shooting. Multiple police agencies are at the scene of a tactical situation and apparent shooting near Vel R. Phillips, 4th Street, and Reservoir in Milwaukee's Halyard Park neighborhood. The scene showed squad cars from Milwaukee, Glendale, Shorehood, and the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, the Wisconsin State Patrol, and the FBI. Oh, yeah, this must be the guy that shot the cop. Those are the agencies that are at the scene. Bullet holes are evident in the windshield of a Glendale squad car. I know you lying. And the windshield of a black sedan. Police removed the body of a man from the black car. This dude had a shootout with the police? You're kidding me. All right, let me take a break, come back. Did they release any information about the suspect? I'm really wondering who this is. The Shorewood Police Chief Heather Worth told WISN 12 News her officer took a bullet in his protective vest and has non-threatening injury. So apparently they killed the fella. But then there's a Glendale squad car that has bullet holes in it. What is happening to the world, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we'll discuss it on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, are you looking for a fun opportunity to showcase your clothing line, restaurant, nonprofit organization, food truck, or small business? Well, look no further than doing it at our Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School. We are currently accepting vendor applications for our festival, and you don't want to miss out on this great opportunity to promote your business and be part of all the fun. To be a vendor at Truth Family Fest, visit truthfamilyfest.com and sign up today. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Victory Garden Initiative is an 1.5 acre urban farm that sits right in the middle of the Black community on Richards and Concordia. I don't know if you know that Harambe is a food desert. So within its borders, there are no major grocery stores. So people rely on things like dollar store, corner stores, liquor stores to buy food, which is all unhealthy. Everything we grow, and we grow everything, tomatoes to potatoes to carrots to corn to onions, and so on. And everything we grow is free to the community. It started in 2009. They wanted to build a sustainable food production system that was healthy and sustainable. And what that meant was giving people the resources to grow their own food and the skills to make sure that those attempts were successful.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Escape to the hidden gem of the Midwest, Chula Vista Resort. Relax with modern comforts and breathtaking views. Thrill into water parks and swing into championship golf. Savor diverse dining options. Book your summer retreat now. Call 1-800-388-4782 or visit chulavistaresort.com.
We're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at weenergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I just want to let this song play. This is such a masterpiece by Luther. I have an idea. You're not going to like it, though. I think we're going to have to stop naming streets after black people. Because why is it where there's a street named after a black person, there's always some violence? So the article that I have where apparently they found the shooter and they shot the guy that shot the police officer that shot the cop in Shorehood. So first it was on Vel Phillips Drive. And then the other report says that there's a large police presence around Finlayson, which is Dr. Finlayson, who's a very famous and important cultural figure here in the city of Milwaukee. So wherever you got streets named after black people, think about how many Martin Luther King drives there are around the country and how many shootings and how much violence takes place on Martin Luther King drives. It's making us look bad. You name a street after a black person because you want to honor them, but there's always somebody getting shot or some violence, and those street names are being referenced not to commemorate the people that they're named after, but as a report of a horrible incident that took place. I don't like that. I'm also hypersensitive to things that are negative that are associated with black people. Like, to get a street named after you, you got to do a bunch of stuff. Like, you got to, like, be in a war, be a hero, be a pioneer, Be like a really great person. Like if they ever name a street after me, that'd be nice, actually. Sherwin is not going to be a street. It's going to be an avenue. No, you take a left on Sherwin Avenue, where the big houses are at, where the Popeye's chicken is. Don't name a street after me and then it's violent. Don't shoot on my street. I didn't do all these years of talk radio and talking to gay people for you guys just to shoot on a street named after me. Come on now, don't do that. TMJ4 is working to learn more about a large police presence near Finlayson and Reservoir. I'm just going to say 5th Street because I don't want this incident to be at all related to or connected to Dr. Finlayson. He didn't do all the wonderful things that he did helping so many people with medicines and the cures and the sicknesses and the illnesses to have his name be referenced into where somebody was found dead. I don't like that. I can't be the only one. I just don't like when our wonderful people and our heroes and the people that we should be talking about should be a part of our education curriculum for our kids so they can grow up and know all the wonderful things that African Americans did in this fair city. Instead, we hear their names because there was a shooting on the street named after them. I don't like that. If you name a street after me, put an amusement park with many games and rides and a couple of strip clubs. Don't overdo it. Don't be ridiculous. Just like 12. And a really good restaurant. A vegan restaurant. Sherwin Avenue will be delicious plant-based cuisine. A couple of gentlemen's clubs. A condo. And a water park. There you go. Neighbors tell TMJ4 News Crews that just before 10 a.m. this morning, they heard a bunch of shots ring out in the neighborhood. Video footage from a neighbor's camera captures several gunshots as well as multiple police squads driving by a neighborhood near Finlayson and Brown. All right, let's see what this is here. Take a look. Oh, yeah, this is bad news, guys. The crew also says they saw FBI agents and some officers with their long guns drawn at the scene, as well as what appears to be a SWAT vehicle. They reportedly also saw and heard several flashbangs. So like a real tactical situation? You gotta be kidding me. This is in the middle of a neighborhood. They had a whole shootout at 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, yeah, there go the police. I'm watching the video right now. It's on. Kyle will probably, well, I shouldn't implicate Kyle, but other people play videos on their radio shows. I don't really play it. Here, let me take another look. Hang on a second. Let me see. I don't know if that's the police firing at him. I'm assuming it's a him. Yeah, oh no, they're shooting at the police. Absolutely they are. What is happening? All right. Let's see what other details that we have about this situation. The crew says they saw FBI agents and some officers with their guns drawn at the scene, as well as what appears to be a SWAT vehicle. They reportedly saw and heard several flashbangs. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed it was called to the scene near Finlayson and Reservoir. It is unclear what the cause of the large law enforcement response. Well, TMJ4 clearly is behind. So this is the fella that shot the Shore Hood police officer. That didn't take long, did it? They caught him faster than they caught the guy that killed Officer Corder. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about in the YouTube chat. Miles says, be safe, chat family. I will be home or driving outside of the city. May the ancestors be with you all in these trying times and hopefully see you on Monday. Shout out to you, Ma. You guys be careful out there. I think our ancestors would be really angry. Could you imagine? We aren't even free yet. Civil war is going on. Freedom is still a far off dream. And then if you take that individual whose like only aspiration is to own a little bit of land and a small, modest home, and like to be able to send their kids to school. Like that's all they probably aspired to be. Not be wealthy and not be anything like that, but just to have peace and have tranquility and have a system of education for their children. That just a little plot of land, a little small, little modest house that was there. Like that was it. That was the height of our aspirations. And if you took that individual that had these tiny aspirations, like basically nothing compared to what we aspire to be right now, and if you showed them where we are in this moment in Black history in the year 2025, there's no way they wouldn't be disappointed. They would be very, well, what you mean? The girls be standing on top of the cars and be twerking. Oh, Lord. They would be very disappointed in some of the things that we do. Well, how come we shooting on each other? That's the kind of stuff the mass will be doing us. And this isn't offensive, is it? Because I'm trying to talk about our ancestors. They would not be happy with what they're seeing. And I would say, hey, ancestor, because I would go and grab one from history and I would bring them into modern 2025. And I'd be like, hey, 160 years after freedom, here is what Water Street looks like on a Saturday night when it's 90 degrees. Oh, Lord. Why is that girl's breastises hanging out? And why is everybody fighting? They'd be really disappointed in us. Well, can y'all's goes to school? Yeah, we have a school system. Oh, y'all's do? Oh, praise Jesus. Y'all's got you a school. Yeah, but the kids are going to school, but they can't read. Oh, no. How would they not be disappointed in us and how we're acting and how we're behaving? Because we have all the freedom that we ever could have asked for. In fact, we might even have too much of it. And we're taking it for granted. I'm deeply concerned about this weekend. When I come back on Monday, I'm going to be very refreshed, I hope, very relaxed. But I'm saying this ahead of time. Do whatever you can to prevent any kind of violence, but don't get yourself hurt, because I don't want to come back on Monday and have to recap and review a violent weekend where many people got hurt. Everybody just do this. Take my advice. Just relax at home. Go somewhere and watch some fireworks at one of the neighborhood parks. Go with your family. Have a little backyard barbecue and relax. Don't get into an argument with anybody. Don't twerk on Water Street or any street for that matter. Just everybody's going to relax. We're going to have a great weekend. It's going to be a safe weekend. And we're all going to rejoice on Monday that nothing negative transpired over the holiday weekend. Happy 4th of July, everyone. I will see you all on Monday.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth Team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our 3rd annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to